What's poppin'? Welcome back to FNS Podcast. We here.
Yeah, we back again
You know what I
with
mean?
pretty much kind of a reaction, but this is a big time now because playoffs is official.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, finally. It felt like
NBA.
I don't know why this season felt long for whatever reason. I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping. Usually the season feels slow, but this one kind of whizzed by.
I I don't know, man. Like to me, it's been feeling kind of like a dragginess to it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've been ready for the playoffs for a long time. Like when certain teams uh when certain teams like start like I guess it's bad basketball when you see bad basketball from
Oh,
teams that should be smarter than what or at least their roster says that they should be smart.
I
A la
agree.
Phoenix Suns,
Oh yeah, the
you know.
Suns. That's a disappointment. Was we supposed to? You know what? I mean, we can make mention of them because that's kind of a bet. Like you, honestly, I kind of The Suns.
Mm-hmm.
There's absolutely looking at that on
Right.
paper.
Mm-hmm.
There's no good reason at all. Not one legitimately good reason for you to even Durant at his age, because Durant is a hooper. So his style is fine. Like he balls. Bill Bill Butler, not Butler, but what's the dog? Booker and Durant, y'all should not be there's no reason for them to be
Right.
eliminated from the playoffs. I don't care what nobody say. Even if
Right.
it was dysfunction, just with them
Right.
three alone, you should at least be number 7 or something. At least
Right.
6.
Yeah. Yeah.
So um
Well, look, they finished with the same record as uh Portland Trailblazers.
that don't make it sound good.
No, but what I'm saying is like, uh, we're gonna talk about it later. But Chauncey getting that extension.
Oh yeah, that was the first thing anyway.
But yeah, but so the teams that missed the playoffs. I mean, it's beneficial for Utah and New Orleans to be eliminated from the playoffs.
Yeah.
San Antonio fairly recently got officially eliminated from the playoffs, but nobody really expected them to make it, especially when Wemby went down.
Oh yeah, when he went down, I was about to say, look, when he was
Yeah,
around, they was acting like they
they was gonna
damn near
probably
thought they was
be a bit.
contenders.
Well,
The way people was
I,
talking about this guy,
yeah,
seriously, dog. Like I'm like,
yeah, but yeah, Portland, and Phoenix have the same exact record, 36-46. Phoenix though being officially eliminated a couple of days ago, and I'm
yeah, I
assuming
seen
that
that.
would be the same thing with Portland.
Yeah, I seen
That's out the West. In the East, folks been eliminated. Like Toronto, Brooklyn, Philadelphia, Charlotte, and Washington. No need to spend time there. But Phoenix is the storyline
yeah, that's terrible, dog.
because Phoenix having the caliber players that they do have, like you got three guys that if you get proper minutes minutes placement amongst them three,
Mm-hmm.
you should get north of 25 points from each player. So that's 75, 80, maybe 90 on some real hot nights
Yeah,
between three players on the board.
yeah,
I mean, yeah, offensively that sounds great, but then the defense, like it's like we already knew that they didn't really have a real point guard.
mm-hmm.
Don't really know what their defensive identity was.
It was
Uh,
none. So I mean,
exactly, and then who the coach Budenholzer,
what? Look, man,
former champion.
I don't even know exactly where you're going with this, but there is no excuse.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You got all the pieces, like if Bud Budenholzer is the coach here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's Mike Budenholzer, former NBA champion with the Milwaukee Bucks. You have this, and it's not like you don't got good role players for these guys. Like you got I'm not the biggest fan of Grayson Allen, but some folks feel like he's a good role player. I wouldn't necessarily argue with him on that. You got Bol Bowles over there, Tyus Jones over there. You got Royce O'Neal.
This don't make anything sound any better. It makes people should be fired, all kind of stuff. Coach everybody. No, I'm dead serious, dog. Like,
right.
Hearing the names you ringing already. Folks should be booted. They might as well clean house. And Booker should be on the trading table too. Because on some real stuff, if Booker is who he's supposed to be, he shouldn't even allow this to happen. Like, nah, man, we can't be losing like this. You know what I'm saying? We too talented. We're the leadership.
Right.
On some real stuff.
Well, remember they didn't really start winning as a franchise with this. Well, at least with Booker as the face until they got Chris Paul.
Exactly. That's why I say listen, I ain't no big Booker guy anyway. I look at him and Tatum in the same lane, honestly. You know what I'm saying? It's the fact that Tatum got a team. But the thing is, you have a team too. But even though it's not, they should have been better than this. There's no excuse. I'm sorry. You know what I mean?
Look, when you look at who made the playoffs before them, would you say that Phoenix roster is better than the Kings?
Sacramento? Like, you talking about Fox and them? Or you talking about
Fox ain't there no more.
You talking about DeRozan and Zach LaVine and them?
DeRozan, LaVine, Sabonis, Keegan Murray.
They shouldn't be, but they not trash.
Right.
They're not. I mean, Zach LaVine, DeRozan, no, those are role players, but they good though. You don't. Right. The way that team put together, you're not about to walk in Sacramento and just win. Like,
right.
That's not.
Now here's the team that they should have been head and toes better than them. Dallas.
Even with AD in them, and if everybody healthy, it should be.
With everything that happened this year as far as injuries is concerned.
Oh, with the injuries, or without injuries, I wouldn't.
Because right. Because I'm factoring in the injury because we all know if Dallas would be fully healthy, there will be a higher seed than this. Yeah. But because of their injuries being what it was, they lost Kyrie for the season.
Should. Without a doubt. That's not a question. Yeah, they definitely should be better.
They lost Kyrie for the season, and then Anthony Davis missed significant time. He fairly just got back.
Yeah, I know. He's been playing pretty well.
And it's almost like he came back just to make the playoffs because I don't know if they can beat the Kings. Because Sabonis been owning Anthony Davis for a good portion of the last 3-4 years.
Yeah, but you talked about this before with big games. Do you believe in LaVine and DeRozan? Do you?
Do you believe in Anthony Davis?
More than them two.
I believe in Sabonis. I believe in Sabonis.
You know what I'm saying?
Sabonis is going to be the one that I'm going to look at and be like, okay, well, this is a matchup you've been dominating for the past 2-3 years. Like, it shouldn't be too much for you to do it again.
Does Sabonis get it in the playoffs like that?
I mean,
you're talking about the playoffs here.
Right.
I don't care about the regular season. Do what you do in the regular season. But now this is the real deal now. So,
but does Anthony Davis like do that
in the playoffs?
Does
he gets
Anthony
down
Davis
in the playoffs? It's hot and cold. He can have a cold day. So if it's a hot day, then you know what I'm saying. But I'm not. Listen, neither one of these teams is going nowhere. I'm just saying, like.
If I'm Dallas, the way things was going for me, and I ain't got Kyrie. When Anthony Davis was like seriously hurt, and it was like where it was in the regular season, I'm like, look, dog, you're just gonna sit down for the rest of the season, get yourself together. No, I'm not tank. I'm never gonna endorse tanking, but for somebody like him who's fragile, like there's no point in having us play meaningless games.
Does it matter? Because at the end of the day, even if you give him rest, he still get hurt, dog. Does it matter? At this point, with a player like that, play or not, you can give him all the time off in the world, he's still gonna get hurt.
That's why it makes Nico Harrison look even more like an idiot, because you don't trade for somebody like this and give up a generation. I mean, he just makes himself look more like an idiot. Like, bruh, like this is This is retarded. But anyway, but yeah, I would say with everything that happened with Dallas this year, Phoenix should have been at least in that 10 spot.
I mean, Phoenix should have been higher, but I listen, I don't accept any of this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't, because your team, competent coaching should have been able to just effort. I mean, there's no way it went. My thing is this: if you got a talented roster, even if you getting into it like that, y'all should still be able to win because y'all are nice like that and we trying to win. You know what I mean? You look at teams that had this function back in the day, most of them did, and they still won. So I don't want to hear nothing, no type of excuse for them. Nobody gets a pass. Durant don't get a pass. Booker don't get a pass. Bill don't get a pass. The coach don't get, none of them. Nobody get a pass. None, because somebody should have been there like, hey, look at this raw. Look at us. Somebody should have had a come to Jesus moment in that locker room like, hey, look at our roster.
Yep.
Are you kidding? Yep. Look at our roster.
Yeah.
Y'all not embarrassed by this?
Right. I mean, it's just one of those things where it's like chasing this whole big three thing. That only works with the right three. Because somebody has to be a leader. And we know Kevin Durant's not a leader. Right. We know Devin Booker clearly is not a leader. And Bradley Beal,
he's a role player, bro. That's all he is.
Yeah. So who's the leader? Who's the leader? Who's the leader on the floor?
It's supposed to be Booker because he was there first. That's his team. He's been to the finals. It's supposed to be him.
Right. It's supposed to be him. Yeah. It's supposed to be him, but he didn't do it.
Which is nobody, like I said, everybody, if I'm the GM, everybody in trouble. Because the thing is, you got it, whether people like Ayton and them or not, the way that team was put together, it was put together properly on some basketball stuff. You know what I'm saying? So hence to how they got to the finals in the first place. Because they had a basketball team.
Chris Paul, you know what I'm saying? Devin Booker, Mikal Bridges. Yeah. You had Cameron Johnson over there. Who was the four? I know
Cameron Payne was over there too, wasn't he?
Cameron Payne was a backup point guard. Yeah. Who was the four? I don't remember who the four was.
I don't remember the four, but either way it goes, you heard all the names. All solid pieces. They all know they role. They all played their role. It's what it was. You know what I'm saying? Your two stars was Ayton and Booker, which Ayton, he had his issues, but still, you know what I'm saying? Like when he showed up, he did his thing, but Chris Paul knew how to, you know what I mean? Okay, Booker really, I'm going to get you to your spots and let you get it in. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then you had, Monty was the coach.
Yeah.
All right, so there was no reason. When you go to the finals, I don't understand dismantling what went to the finals. You don't do that. You went to the finals. Right. Why would you dismantle that? Maybe make a little slight tweak here and there, but you don't dismantle it because you went there.
Right. And because you could easily be back in that same boat.
There's no excuse. There's no excuse.
Yeah, they the biggest disappointment. It's funny. This is paired with Kevin Durant again, because he just came from being one of the biggest disappointments in Brooklyn.
Yeah, but that was all injuries though. When they played together, they was cold. When they only played together like in the teens,
right? Yeah,
it was cold when they played together, but all them cats was hurt.
Right, so, but it's Durant's name being paired with another big disappointment.
Listen, Durant is not Durant, like I said, everybody's not a leader. He cold. Durant is first class Hall of Fame, you know what I mean? One of the illest to ball, but he's not one of them dudes that being a leader is not always, that's not a responsibility a lot of people want. I get it, you know what I'm saying? But in situations like this, I would like to think as a baller, knowing who you are, knowing the talent on your team, there got to be some sort of pride that kick in here and be like, hey, we can't be getting dead like this.
Right.
We can't be getting dead like we too,
right.
On paper, we too nice on paper. Right.
So that's why on paper don't mean enough.
Everybody gets the boot, dog. Like, do you not feel like everybody shouldn't be on the table to you?
If I was the general manager, I would be starting from scratch if I could. But here's the issue though. when you talking about trade, first of all, Bradley Beal with the no trade clause, like that right there is wild work, if you ask me. But but Bradley Beal with the no trade clause, so he's going to be the piece that's kind of immovable because he's kind of already came out and expressed some stuff about what he's not going to do and things of that nature. So hey,
Can't you just buy him out? If it's that bad, man, like, can you just buy him out and cut your losses there? Because you're going to trade Durant and get that money off your books. That's a big chunk right there. If you buy out Bill,
I'm getting rid of every last one of them dudes.
Yeah, so you wouldn't buy him out?
I mean, I would try to talk to him again and be like, look, like I would be on some like, I would be on some stuff with him. I'll be like, look, man, look, we can do this the easiest way possible. And the easiest way possible is you just take your no trade clause and you waive that joint. And then we can trade you away. Because you obviously, you still a good player. You can be a good role piece on somebody that's content. So I can probably trade you to a team where you could, possibly do something with. Maybe like the Indiana Pacers or something like that. I could probably trade you over there, or
For whom?
Well, see, at this point, it would be all about getting young players and draft picks for me, because I'm gonna be fully invested in the scout team.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be fully invested in my scout team. But when I trade these pieces away, I'm gonna try to get the young talent that look like they could be something. They just need the green light to a degree.
Let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, they wouldn't do this. Let me ask you this. Well, Portland probably wouldn't even do this. Would you be willing? Let's say if Portland was flirting with trading away Scoop, right? Would you trade?
Doing that, though.
I know they're not. You know what I'm saying? Would you get rid of Booker for him?
For Scoop,
starting fresh stuff?
It not alone. It's got to be some other stuff attached to that. Like they got to give me is they coming up off of Anthony Simons?
Oh no, you know what? Better yet, would you trade Simons? Would you trade Booker Bill for Simons?
That straight up?
Yes.
I would.
I would too. That's why I would. I would immediately ASAP.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I would. No, I mean,
yeah,
immediately.
Bill be up out of here, man. Like, I mean, be honest with you. Like, I'll be looking at like all the tier 4 and below teams in the playoffs that look like they just like that one piece away.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be looking at all of them because almost every last one of those teams got somebody young on their team that shows that they got some value and they could potentially have more value if they get the green light.
Yeah.
So I mean, like even y'all, Detroit, I'll be looking at
no parts.
I'll be like, look, Jaden Ivey, let's talk about it.
No.
Jaden Ivey, let's talk about it. I'll be on that type of
man.
stuff.
Like, dog. Like, I mean, it's not like, listen, if this was like Wizards Bill, maybe.
But look,
but that's not who he is now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, you know, honestly though, I mean, even for the teams that didn't make the playoffs, right?
Mm-hmm.
The teams that didn't make the playoffs, I'll be looking at them because like some of those teams got players like Toronto. Do you think that we could put together a package to get Scotty Barnes?
No, not for Bill. No.
No. I'm talking about amongst those 3 players. Like
what package? Hold on, from the Suns?
Yeah.
It had to involve Booker off top. That's
exactly.
There ain't no way around that. You know what I'm saying?
But I would.
Scotty Barnes?
Yeah, for Scotty Barnes, I would. I mean, I would.
He nice like that?
Well, I mean, it's not going to be just Scotty Barnes, just like it's not going to be just Devin Booker. I think that most folks would feel like Devin Booker is more valuable than Scotty Barnes right now, even though Scotty Barnes does more.
I don't know, man.
He's just not as great of a scorer.
I don't know. Do they really feel that way? Because after his season. I don't know about that. I don't know.
Is there a way that you can pry Tyrese Maxey off of Philly?
For Booker? No. Will you do that?
No. I'm not talking about just Booker straight up. I'm talking about everything that I got on my roster on Phoenix.
Uh-huh.
Is there a way that you can pry a Tyrese Maxey off of there?
Unless he requested a trade or something. Unless he said he don't want to be there and express that to the office. No, because that's the only dude that's available. That's the only dude over there that's durable and available and get busy. That's the only one. Joel's never. Paul. None, that's the only guy. Right. If they're smart, they wouldn't get rid of him.
I mean, they did bring in Paul George.
I said if they're smart. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying I'm not saying they wouldn't get rid of him. I'm just saying if I'm thinking logically on some stuff that makes sense, unless he said, look, I don't want to be here no more, on some behind the scenes, because they do that sometimes behind the scenes without getting the public with it, be like, listen, I can't do this no more type stuff. Unless he said that, then I'll be like, all right, so let's work something out.
And I can see Tyrese Maxey saying that. I mean, I'm not saying that he did, but with that circus show that's going on over in Philly, I can see him saying that. I don't want LaMelo Ball, so I'll move on off of Charlotte. There's nothing in Washington that I want. But if you go back to the West,
you wouldn't try to get my man's the rookie.
Oh, Sar?
Yeah.
No.
Yo, he all right.
I wouldn't try to get Sar. No, man, no. And then you, San Antonio.
I don't think they getting rid of none of their young dudes since they got
De'Aaron
Fox. They got Fox and they got Wemby. I don't know.
They got Fox. So think about that. Maybe Castle is available now.
No. You need that. You need that.
You don't think that Pop would like to have?
Is Pop gonna coach next year?
Well, that is a good question. But whoever the coach is, if you get De'Aaron Fox while still having Chris Paul with Wemby, and you say you can slide a Bradley Beal up in that, or you can slide a Devin Booker up in that, right? You don't think that they would take that?
Booker before Beal?
Of course, everybody would do.
Because Castle's kind of hype, dog. He
is. He is.
I wouldn't necessarily be looking at Phoenix like, oh yeah, bring in Booker, like, because if you bring in Booker paired with Fox already not no passer, dog.
Right, yeah, but so that's where Chris Paul is still
is he
on
gonna
that
retire,
team.
Or is he still playing?
I don't know. I'm going based off of the assumption that he's still there. And then New Orleans. Is there anybody on New Orleans that you would want? I mean, I don't want to touch Zion because I can't trust this dude. Brandon Ingram would have been the only player.
I'd trade Bill for McCollum. I would. I'd trade McCollum. I mean, McCollum doesn't give you problems, dog. He gets busy.
Right.
He does the same thing Bill does, dog.
And then better. Utah. And then Utah. Like, I don't know what Utah is doing.
What's the power forward's name again?
You talking about Markkanen.
Man, y'all need, hey.
Yeah.
Hey.
Markkanen right there.
Yeah, like, hey, I give you, but they already guard heavy over there.
I'll give you all three for Markkanen.
All three? What you mean? Bill too? Nah, that's too much. No. They'll do it, but I mean,
Markkanen is not young though. Like Markkanen is like in his late 20s. So, I'm just talking crazy when I say all three. Like you're gonna have to slide Colin Sexton up in there or Keontae George up in there.
They guard heavy, so I mean, you would have to. One of them guys have to come up off the table anyway. If you're trading for Bill or Booker,
right? And then
I do with Keontae George.
And then when you look at the play-in teams, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dallas. Is there anybody on Dallas that you think that you can give up with a trade because this might be a safe.
They got big man heavy, so they can you can. I don't know if they give up PJ Washington or who's the Tyson Chandler guy, the guy who played like Tyson Chandler. Lively. He plays just like Tyson Chandler, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Gafford, you could probably get Gafford before you get Lively.
You think so?
It's the 7-footer versus the 6'10".
Gafford give you a little more down low though.
He does. He does, but do you need that anymore when you got so-called Anthony Davis?
Yeah, you need that because you don't know.
This dude don't want to go down there.
You know what I'm saying?
This dude don't want to play down there.
You need that. You already know you need that. You can't just give that up with him around. Like, you still need that. That's the thing. AD, you still need that. Like, period. Like, you can't just abandon the inside game just because you get him. Nah, dog. You need that. I mean, they both, listen, they're not going to be able to stay there no way. You know that. They're not going to be able to stay there. So somebody going to want to get paid. You know what I'm saying? It's, you know, so
and
I
then,
don't know how long,
then
you know, that's going to last.
The other thing too, I seen they tried to make this happen again, and Kevin Durant said no to it.
What?
Golden State tried to trade to bring Kevin Durant back, and Kevin Durant wasn't interested in it.
Yeah, we talked about that, didn't we?
Right. Well,
I did it again.
No. Well, what I'm saying is, I'm looking at Golden State. All right, look, maybe you can't get Kevin Durant. Or maybe you can this time around. I don't know. Who knows how he feels after the way this season ended, right? You know what I'm saying? But it's like, look.
Do they need him with Butler now? Would you say they need him?
I mean,
because they play the same position.
I mean, look, I'm gonna say this. Does Jimmy Butler make Golden State better? Obviously, yeah. Does he make them a contender?
Possibly.
No, I don't think so.
I mean,
I don't think so.
This is the thing, right? Anything can happen. You know, this is the thing with the Warriors, and this has always been the case with them. They can shoot their way into something.
Exactly.
That's what happens with them. You know what I'm saying? So I can't say that it can't happen. I don't believe it will, but will I be surprised if I seen them somewhere like, hold on, how'd they get here? You know what I'm saying? I would not be surprised, dog.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. I'm looking at them. You still trying to maximize Steph window, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, KD.
They're going to have to
try it again, man. Try it again. Because when I'm looking at them, they got somebody on their roster that doesn't fit what they do, but he clearly got some talent and he could probably be something on somebody else's team.
Cool.
Jonathan Kuminga.
You would trade Durant for Kuminga. Was that what they were trying to do?
I don't know if that's what they was trying to do or not. I'm saying that's what I would do. I would be like, yo, Kuminga.
You still got faith in this guy.
Well, because I see that he got some skills. I'm not saying that he's gonna be, but if I'm gutting my team, I need to take some chances. If I'm gutting my team, I need to take some chances. I can't put all my faith in these cats that's coming out the draft.
No, you can't put faith in none of them except Queen.
Right.
But,
and
you know,
I don't even know if he's coming out.
Oh, man.
But, you know, Queen would be a great dude to bring into this organization. Queen and Cohen Carr off of Michigan State. I like him.
Yeah.
I seen Jason Richardson's son. He's going to the draft.
Why?
I don't know. I don't think he's ready. But
that's
you know,
not, all right, man. Okay. I'm not hating on. I just think he need a couple years, man. I just think he need a couple. You know, I'm not hating.
Right.
And I love Michigan, but I know what I seen. I'm like, I don't know about that.
We didn't think about this. So, Memphis.
Mm-hmm.
With all the Ja stuff going on. That could be a destination right there. Booker.
With Ja or trading for Ja?
Trading for Ja.
I do it. If I'm Phoenix, I'm doing that. Let me get that.
Yeah,
you know You can wave all your hand signals all you want over here. Come on over, man. I don't care about none of that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
For real. Like, come on over.
But that's if Memphis is willing to entertain it. Because if
they fired the coach, so I mean,
right, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if Memphis is willing to entertain it, I'm looking at them like, let's talk about
rumblings this. I was seeing. Like I said, I don't know if those was I gotta look at the post. I gotta find them. You know, you lose them on Instagram, but when I seen them stuff saying that Memphis was looking into possibly trading Ja Morant, I've seen them little posts around, man.
If I'm Phoenix, I would have been looking at that like this. Okay, I'm looking at the way my season is going with what I got on paper right here.
Yeah.
Because would it take two players to get him, or do you think it's that bad to where you can just do one?
I think you can do Booker because, you know, I think you could do Booker and probably like some other negotiations with it. I mean, you don't they gonna listen. If you say, listen, Booker, they not gonna hang the phone up. I don't think so. They're not just gonna bang on you. They gonna listen.
I would hope so.
You know what I'm saying? They'll listen.
I would hope so.
They're not gonna just bang like, no, they'll listen because Booker's still a star. So it's like, okay, all right, okay, so what? Let's talk. You know what I mean? On some like let's talk type stuff. So they probably could do it with Booker involved. I mean, you probably can do Booker and Bill for him. You probably could do Booker and Bill for him.
I mean,
started fresh.
Bill is going to be the hardest task because you got to get him to waive that no trade. If you can get him to waive that no trade, then life is good because now you got hold on, let me pull up Phoenix Suns contract stuff because right now life with them is like kind of revolving around the ability.
That was the issues they was having. Period. That was they said that mess. They couldn't make no moves. Like honestly, because of that. You know what I'm saying? So
let me see where do I got this right here. Okay, so I'm gonna pull up Phoenix payroll. Okay, I'm gonna pull up Phoenix payroll. Let me see here. Because that is the question there. Suns. Come on now. Yeah, I want to look at them. Okay, so Phoenix Suns payroll. That is what it's looking like it's going to be. This is what it's going to be next season. All right. Next season, Kevin Durant is on the books for 54.7. Bradley Beal is on the books for 53.6. Devin Booker is on the books for 53.1. Grayson Allen on the books for 16.8. Royce O'Neal on the books for 10. Cody Martin for 8.6. Vasilija Micic, I don't know how to say that, 8.1. Nick Richardson for 5. Ryan Dunn for 2.6, and then everything else is like unrestricted free agents. So you got over 150 million right there just in those three players.
That's tough. That's tough right there. I mean, I always felt like, look, man, that being cap strapped like that ain't no joke, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, for real. You know, especially if you didn't get in, and then you didn't even make the playoffs? Nah, heck no.
Exactly.
Nah, heads got to roll. Like, there ain't no.
Could you imagine?
You can't be that strapped like that.
Could you imagine
playoffs? Nah.
Could you imagine being the owner of the Phoenix Suns and you
Folks
cutting their checks?
Fired, bro.
And you cutting their checks.
Dog. There's no way. There won't be no nice because. Speaking of firing, they said Mike Malone wasn't exactly calm when he got fired, by the way. You know what I'm saying? I seen that report.
I mean, I can see that. I mean, this is somebody that's passionate about their job. He passionate about his job.
He was not cool with that situation.
Who would? You mean to tell me y'all been stripping me down of all the players that I've had that I showed that I can coach and get this team to a championship? Mm-hmm. You strip me down of those guys. And then you get mad at me for calling out these young cats for not competing or watching film. I'm the one that gets fired. I can see that. I can see that with ease, man.
That probably was a crazy, man. Listen, they probably heard all kinds of words. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I hope they did that. I hope they didn't do that with staff around.
I don't think he would have cared. I don't think he would have cared. And then but hey, it is what it is. But anyway, Memphis, I would definitely look at them. All right. And then you slide to the east, right? Mm-hmm. You slide to the east and you look at a team like Atlanta. Do you think Atlanta would be willing to let go of Trae Young? Trae Young just made history. He was the only point guard in this league that had averaged a double-double. Not saying that means a lot, but he led the league in assists.
I look at that lightly, like the Tyrese Maxey thing. If Trae Young said, "Listen, dog, I'm tired of this whole," but then again, he'll go back to another rebuilding situation. In the West too.
Atlanta got some young players that look like they could be effective. Like they got a bunch of Ron Holland, Asur Thompson-ish types of guys over there.
Right. So
it's like, Trae Young going over there with them dudes that just want to run around and jump in the oh, I'll find you. Okay.
Right.
Okay. It's like, so is that something that you think they would entertain? Do you think that Atlanta's owners would get big-eyed and they'll be like, look, they offering us Devin Booker and so for Trae Young? Do you think that they would be that tight?
I mean, with this season, his stock is hit. So, I mean, it's not like he was going off or nothing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If he was getting it in, despite of losing, but really, if he showed effort, really trying to drag him over the hump, and just everybody around him was playing like, but he was getting it in, I could see that. But he wasn't doing that. So his stock, you don't think his stock took a hit?
I think his stock took the least hit because he's the youngest of them. He's what, 28? What is he, 28? Yeah, he's 28 and he can still shoot. Mm-hmm. He can still do, like, I mean, it's not going to be attractive for him, but for me as an owner, I'm like, look, that's very attractive for me.
Yeah.
I'm just getting you off the books is a win for me. Because if we gonna lose like this, I'd rather lose with some young cats that I know that, okay, they got some things to learn and they gonna, because Budenholzer's getting fired.
I would like to think so. I would like to think, listen, everybody hit, dog. Everybody hit. You know what I'm saying? Like, there ain't no, I don't see how this is even a question.
Yeah, I would be looking at that and I would be wondering, like, I'll put some feelers out there. Like, kind of like how did he ask him? Rob Pelinka? Kind of like how Rob Pelinka was asking Nico. Indirectly, yeah, like, what if a crazy trade happened? Like, let's say you trade Luka Doncic, and he'd be like, yeah, I would entertain it. I would be on that type of stuff. I would be on that type of stuff with them. Oh yeah, well, crazy things can happen. Like, what if you trade Trae Young? Yeah, I would entertain it. For real? Let's talk. Let's keep this between us right now. Let's talk. Same thing with Memphis. I'll be over there with Memphis. I'll be like, look, I mean, Ja would be my first swing of the bat to hit a home run. Because if I can land Ja, then I can somewhat stay in this playoff status air. But I just gotta put I just gotta put something else around him because I'm getting rid of all, like, I'm gonna be doing my homework like crazy. I'm gonna be doing my homework like crazy. And then the fact of what I get from the other trades is going to mean something here. It's like I'm not just getting anybody. I'm only getting guys that I think have a future here. Guys that if they playing, like I'm looking at the Lakers. Oh, Connect. How can I pull Connect?
That should be easy. They already had him traded already. That should be easy. Seriously, that should be easy.
Yeah. So I'll be trying to get Connect. I'll look at I'll give Kuminga a chance if I can get him. You know, I don't think Chicago would be willing to part ways with Giddey, not with the way he was playing, but
they trade him because he's a future piece.
Yeah. So Josh Giddey would be somebody that I would entertain having, but I don't think anybody else on Chicago. At least not right now.
You don't like my man's with the hair? You don't like
him? Because he's not a piece to build around to me. He's like a complimentary piece.
Yeah.
Like you just get him to add to help somebody else out, you know, by some minutes, get some shooting, I guess, or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, there ain't really nobody on Miami. There ain't nobody on Miami. Unless they willing to give up that young center, then I'll trade young for young. Like I'll be like, yo, y'all want Bol Bol's or something like that?
Bol Bol's finna be overseas soon. Believe that.
Yeah, he is. He
you know what I'm saying? Because he not his potential is there, but I don't know
if he gonna live up to it.
I just don't know like what it is with him. You know what I'm saying? I can't really. He's supposed to be up there with the Porzingises and the all that. You know what I'm saying? He's supposed to be doing what Wemby is doing on the real though. You know what I'm saying? So I mean,
right? Yeah. So I mean, like that's if I'm Phoenix, that's where my mind is at because I'm like looking at that payroll coming up next season, over 150 million to 3 dudes.
Yeah,
that was supposed to be the guys that was going to help us get to a certain place, and they don't even make the playoffs. No.
Yeah, there's no. You know what I'm saying? There's no way around this. This is bad. Ain't nobody talk their way out of this situation. You know what I'm saying?
No. Yeah. No. Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. I mean, there's nothing on Brooklyn that I want. I don't know. Maybe Nick Claxton. I might be willing to take Nick Claxton, but he's not like no priority over here.
No, I mean, you know what, Nick Claxton, he's not bad. He would probably end up like a Gafford or a PJ Washington somewhere because I put him in that class. You know what I'm saying? Because they're surrounded by a good team. So mind you, PJ Washington and Gafford was in that same situation until they went to a good team. Right. So if you place Claxton, which I don't know why LA didn't try to go for a Claxton. He could have played center for them. You know what I'm saying? To be honest, but
yeah, I don't know, man. Like I'm just looking at that from a Phoenix perspective. That would be my game plan. I'm firing all the coaching staff. I'm firing or I'm getting rid of the players. I might fire the GM because what was your idea when you?
Yeah, he was
like
wild.
You said.
Yeah, everybody hit, dog, for real.
Yeah, I'm firing all of them, and I'm starting from scratch. I'm getting these. I'm gonna give a coach a shot that I've been looking at. That's been sitting down for a while. That's been wanting to have a chance. Like I'm gonna look at Sam Cassell. I'm gonna be like, Sam, you want a shot?
Right.
This is your shot. I'll commit to you for like what, 4 years to show me that you got some signs that we on the right trajectory. You know,
yeah.
I'll be looking at it like that. Sam Cassell could come over here. Somebody like that. I'll be bringing him in. A scout team. I'll be dead serious about my scout team. I'll be dead serious about my scout team. I'll be like, look, I don't want to hear nothing about analytics.
Right.
I want to see. I want to see footage and evidence and full breakdowns of what these players are like, not only on the court, but also off the court. I want to know what their practice habits is and stuff like that, how serious they are about this. Are they students? Do they study their opponent like how they should be? Those are the kind of like like, I don't know if you could. I mean, you should be able to do this. I would think so, but like, like even in the NBA scout team, like who's on these other rosters that can play, but they just ain't got their shot yet. Like I'll be looking at.
Why wouldn't you be able to do that?
Right. I mean, every team should. I mean, but yet and still, Imani Bates is not getting a chance. I don't know why.
Like 30-something points.
Right. So I'll be looking at we can get Imani Bates. Let's try
Imani
it.
Bates. That should be an easy grab. You know what I'm saying? Like I would I'd trade Bill for Bates immediately.
Mm-hmm. And then all the other NBA guys that should still be in the league that the league screwed over. I'll be making phone calls with them. Hey, yo, Boogie, you think you still got something?
Right.
You think you still got something? All right. Hey, John Wall, you think you still got something?
Right.
You still got something? I'll be bringing them in because I'm about to. It's about to be a full flush. Jaleel Okafor, yo, you still been hooping? Like, is this still what you want to do?
Clearly, he was just signed with the Pacers.
Not Jaleel. That was Wiseman.
No, it was Jaleel Okafor, dog. He actually had a 10-day contract.
Oh well, yeah. So yeah, definitely, I'm bringing in Jaleel.
Yeah,
because he would be unguardable right now.
Literally, you know what I'm saying? Like literally.
So
and he done got bigger too on some muscle, man. He'd be cooking these dudes on some like give it to me down low type stuff. Now,
right. And so if I do all of that while getting rid of that 150 plus million off the books, and I can somehow pull a Ja Morant, life is good to me. Life is good to me, and give Sam Cassell that.
Yeah,
that would be my order of operations. Like I don't know who some young GMs that could get a job, but it seems like the former players route is the way to go, right? Yeah. So I'll be talking to some of these other analysts. Matter of fact, because he's done this successfully already, I'll be talking to Zeke. I'll be like, yo, Zeke.
Oh yeah, Isaiah, he know what he's doing. He wasn't a bad coach either. Actually.
No, but yeah, I'll be looking at Zeke. I'll be like, yeah, you interested? Okay, and if you not interested, do you have any recommendations?
Yeah, I'm not mad at that.
That'll be my order of operations, man. Because I'll be like, look, man, enough is enough. Enough is enough with this.
I'm not mad at that one right there.
But yeah, that would be my order of operations. But you want to move on to the next subject?
Chauncey. Let's hit Chauncey. He got the extension. They didn't put out the details. Well, not that I've seen yet. You know what I'm saying? They gave him a multi-year deal. Do you think that was a good move?
I mean,
or a multi-year extension, excuse me.
Yeah, it doesn't say how long. I mean, it's like
because I was in the mind. My bad. I was in the mind of he was getting fired at some point. That's what I was thinking.
I was thinking he was gonna get fired too, but I'm not mad at it at all because I'm looking at it like this. I'm like, okay, his team is a really young team. Mm-hmm. Firing Chauncey and bringing in another coach, how is that going to benefit those young players? Unless it's a clearly visibly seen from all angles upgrade coaching option that's available. Mm-hmm. How is that going to benefit the young players? They've been getting drilled into their heads that Chauncey's system, and we know that it works, and we know what kind of player that he is and what he values, and he's going to instill that into his players. Who's going to do that better than what Chauncey is, or what drastic change do you want to take if you want to get a different philosophy? Talk to these kids. Mm-hmm. So I can see that being the case, and the fact that they finished strong on their season, based on what all accounts can say, because I'm gonna be honest, I ain't watching that one Portland game.
No, I knew what was going on a little bit, but I wasn't tuning into that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not about to lie. You know what I'm saying?
So it's like, look, it giving Chauncey a couple more years because like they wasn't far away from being the play-in team.
Right.
So it's like I'm not mad at that. I mean, because if you fire Chauncey, you got to have some sort of a plan. You can't just be firing folks and just be like, okay, we'll figure it out later what we gonna do.
How often do you see this?
I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
But that's part of the reason.
How often do you be seeing that pop off though? You know what I'm saying?
But that's part of the reason why them teams is where they at. That's part of the reason why them teams is where they at, because they be firing folks without having a plan.
No, I agree with you.
You need to have a plan if you're going to make a drastic change like that. Yes, there is a such thing as addition by subtraction. If somebody is that bad to where just getting them out the building makes your team better, great. Do it in a heartbeat. But Chauncey is not the kind of guy that would be like that bad to where you need to fire him.
Right.
So
I mean, look, I was just saying, because I'm not saying I wanted him fired. I'm not saying that under any circumstance. I'm just saying that I just thought that at this, how long he been there with them? Like 5 years?
He been there with them. It's been a minute.
It's been a few years. I mean, 5 might be stretching it. You know what I'm saying?
It's been a minute.
But still, like, they haven't been in the playoffs yet, right?
Not yet, no.
Close. And Scoot, like I said, I'm the first to say, what I seen with Scoot, I felt like his ceiling was it seemed like he got more skills than Dame Dollar. Skill-wise, if it's applied. You know what I'm saying? As far as with the handling, the driving ability, and all that stuff. He's just shorter than him. You know what I'm saying? But he makes it up with, his size and all that. So I'm thinking like, well, Scoot can be a problem, but I'm trying to.
Okay.
I would have thought Scoot would have been starting to show some stuff by now, to be honest.
I mean, he kind of already. I thought he was.
I'm talking about putting him up in the conversation with like, hey, this is one of the top young up and coming guards in the league type stuff. From what I seen from him.
That type of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nah, he hasn't been really doing nothing like that. Like,
That's what I'm saying. Like, he ain't.
Let me see this is what his regular season average and stats was. 12.7 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 41.9 field goal percentage.
For his draft position, that's supposed to go up to like 20 points.
Right.
Easy. Just on some minimum like 20 points.
Let me see the last 5 games of the season for him were as follows. Last 5 games of the season for him was like this. Let me see. Playing 20 minutes, playing 20 minutes or more in the last 5 games.
Mm-hmm.
He had 3 games where he only scored single digits.
You know what I'm saying? Like that can't happen if you scoop.
And then 2 games where he's at 16 and 18.
Yeah, that can't happen if you scoop. He's supposed to be averaging 20 easy.
Yeah. And he clearly ain't no facilitator because he only having like 6 assists max. Defense, I don't know what his defensive presence is, but he ain't taking the ball away from folks because he only got 1 steal in 5 games. Yeah. Scoop might not. I'm not saying that. Not
but
saying
his
that
draft
you're wrong
position,
here.
But his draft, for as high as he got drafted, and he's supposed to be average. He's supposed to be at least like, yo, he's one of the promising up and coming guards in today's game. That's what they should be saying about him.
He only scored more than 20 points twice in the last month.
That's supposed to be an average for him.
Right.
No excuse.
Right.
And I like Scoop, but there's no excuse.
Right.
No excuse.
Yeah. So, hey, I mean, look. But, hey, I mean, is he one of the players that Chauncey is having a hard time helping him to understand and get it? Or I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what the case is. I just know that for him to get his extension with what he's working with, there has to be something seen, because I know that center Donovan Killigan, he was balling out. One of them games that I seen, let me see his recent numbers. Like he be flirting with a double-double.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not even playing 30 minutes. Like he didn't play 30 minutes last 2 games, and he had 2 double-doubles, 12 points, 12 rebounds, 14 points, 15 rebounds. He looks like he gets some blocks. 2 blocks in this game, 1 block, 2 blocks in this game, 3 blocks, 1 block. Not afraid to pass the ball a little bit. I mean, I heard his name coming up, and it looks like he be swiping at the ball with the big man that be lazy with it, because he got 5 steals in 5 games.
Okay.
So I mean, I don't know. I have to actually see the game footage.
Mm-hmm.
I have to actually see game footage, but yeah, he I was hearing good things about him. Production wise, when I was like listening to Portland games and whoever they was playing against, not watching them, I was just listening to what's going on.
Right.
So I mean, Chauncey getting his shot, man. Look, at the end of the day, anybody that knows Chauncey and what he is to the NBA, they could easily understand, be like, look, man, Chauncey knows what he's doing. It's just he needs better players. Everybody needs players.
Right.
So a lot of these.
You don't think he got solid players with Jeremy Grant, Anthony Simons?
I'm with you on Anthony Simons. But Simons, I don't think Simons has been a problem. I think Simons is just the question with Simons is you gonna be able to keep him? I think.
I haven't heard anything about him being on the blocking them, so.
Yeah, see, Simons is doing what Scoot's supposed to be doing. Simons is averaging 19.3.
Yeah, see. But Simon's nice though, so.
Yeah, but that's that. That's all I got to say about it. Do you want to add something?
Nah. Salute to Chauncey. I just thought he was gonna get fired. I'm not mad that he didn't get fired. I mean, I'm all for letting folks. I'm all for keeping the coach and letting him build his culture. I'm all for that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So my whole thing is, if you're gonna keep him. Don't let him build it up to the point. Let's say Portland got to the point to where it's on some Portland looking real official. Like, now it's time for you to go. You built this. Now let's bring him in. See, that's whack right there. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
See, so if you're gonna keep him. That's my thing.
Right. All right. Well, let's move on to the play-in tournament matchups.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So the play-in tournament matchups for the East, we'll start there. The 7th versus the 8th seed, which is Orlando Magic at 7 and Atlanta Hawks at 8. Who you got winning that game?
Well, y'all could lose this.
For real.
I would like to think the Magic, due to their size, should win.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, Atlanta got them young dudes that be flying around.
Mm-hmm.
And you got Trae Young who cold with it.
Right.
So
that's a perfect combination.
That's not this is not, even though Orlando got the size and Paolo should be the best player on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Should, but Trae Young might have something to say about that.
And not having Jalen Suggs, because Orlando got their own injury problems.
Yeah.
Not having Jalen Suggs making life real easy for Trae Young. Now, the only thing that we can present to Trae Young is size, like you said, because that point guard, Anthony Black, being 6'8", guarding Trae Young.
He's not gonna be able to. You gotta chase him.
My thing is, okay, if I'm the Orlando Magic coach, I'm looking at that and I'm like, look, you ain't gonna be able to shut this dude down. This dude is this dude is legit, all right? But you can do something, which is for me, my game plan is, okay, Trae Young, we ain't gonna let him shoot no perimeter shots.
Now,
discourage
discourage
everything from the perimeter. Okay, meaning that you're gonna press everything tight to where he shouldn't feel comfortable pulling up and shooting.
Do y'all got the guys to do that to him?
Between Anthony Black, Contavious Caldwell-Pope, and then even what's my man name? Jonathan, what's his name? Jonathan Isaac.
So you mentioned 3 dudes that's not. So Black, he's 6'8".
Right.
Naturally, those guys don't move that well. They move. He's athletic for obviously he's a point guard.
Right.
His feet is not catching no doggone Trae Young.
That's what I'm saying. No, you're not guarding Shifty. You taking away a spot on the floor.
Right, but the thing is, even Contavious Caldwell-Pope, he slowed down. He's not the same Pope. You know what I'm saying?
No, he ain't.
Jonathan Isaac, he's just tall. Yeah. So
what I'm saying is that length, you got to make Trae Young shoot sky shots.
Does he not constantly do that?
Not sky shots. Like, if you make him have to put more arc on it than what he used to doing, because just being 6'8" and having that 7-foot wingspan between two dudes,
screens do exist.
They do, but what I'm gonna teach all of my defenders, because this is not just whoever's guarding Trae Young just fight over screens. No, when the other defender, the help defender, when your player comes a screen, you gonna hedge Trae Young tight. He gonna have to get sent back, or he gonna have to bounce that ball and try to settle for something in there down low.
Now the play-in is single elimination, right?
Single game. It is single game elimination for the 9 and the 10 seed. The loser of the 7 and the 8 plays against the winner of the 9 and the 10 seed, and then whoever wins that game gets the final slot.
They battle for the 8.
Yeah, they battle for the 8.
Okay, so I will say this. I would like to think Orlando could win, but I'm not confident in saying that.
Okay.
I'm going to just say that. So I'm going to give Atlanta the edge, but I won't be surprised if Orlando win, dog. I mean, but Paolo got to get busy, though.
Paolo and Franz. Because Paolo,
do it with Paolo?
Paolo, if Paolo pops off a 30+, that might not be enough when you got this dude, Willing and Dylan, having 20 and 15.
Right. Yeah, no, I feel you. Yeah.
That ain't gonna be enough. Franz got to come in and he got to chip in and do his thing. Paolo showed up and did his thing last year in the playoffs, but that was the problem. He was the only one.
Right. So
Franz got to clean up his reputation a little bit. Franz got to clean up his reputation. It's gonna be a battle down low too, because last time I checked, Atlanta still got Clint Capella and they got Okongwu.
Is Clint still a threat?
Compared to who we got to offer? Remember, it's all about our matchup. It's not about him as an individual. It's about our matchup.
Yeah.
Because Wendell Carter the third and Goga Batazi versus Clint Capella and Okongwu, I don't think that we got no clear advantage there.
Who you got winning?
Orlando should win if Paolo and Franz show up. If Paolo and Franz show up, Orlando should win. So that's my only. Trae Young with them young cats running around is scary. But look, if they turn this into a fast break game, Atlanta wins. But if Orlando slows them down and have to actually run an offense and half court stuff, and dudes have to actually start to show skill, Orlando wins this. Or Orlando should win this. And then they would play the winner between Chicago and the Heat. And looking at that matchup, 9-10, Chicago and Miami. I feel like Chicago has the better, slightly better players. Slightly.
They should win this, fam.
You don't think Spoelstra can pull out something out his sleeve?
No. No. You don't got Butler gone, dog. There's no Butler there. Wiggins. We all know what's up with Wiggins.
We know
what's up with Wiggins, dog.
Duncan Robinson, Bam Adebayo.
Josh Giddey, the best dude on the floor.
He the best.
Josh Giddey's the best dude on the floor. He should be able to get busy, dog. Seriously, Josh Giddey should have a field day on them. I'm serious. He should drop 40.
I don't know if Josh Giddey's the 40 type dropping.
Josh Giddey can't drop 40.
I'm not saying that he's not capable of it. What I'm saying is that's never been his MO. Josh Giddey
against them, man. He should have a field day. You don't think Giddey should go off on them? Come on, fam. Nah,
I mean,
dog,
I think he should have a good game. I just don't know if it's going to be a 40-point game. Like,
35. Cool, 35. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not accepting no less than that, dog. Like, Josh Giddey should cook these dudes, no?
I mean, look, I'm with you that Josh Giddey should be able to dominate and have a good game. I just don't know what it's going to look like. Because normal Josh Giddey dominance look like, oh, I'm doing everything. I'm rebounding. I'm running the offense. My scoring is going well.
If Josh Giddey is who he is and who OKC pegged him to be, and the only reason why they trade him is because
of that situation.
You know what I'm saying? So, and you want to come off the bench. Josh Giddey, it's the playoffs. Josh Giddey should show who he is here because he's the best player on the floor between them two. Period.
Right.
Hands down, easily. He should dominate the whole game. Seriously.
Him and Kobe White, and then they got. You don't like Kobe White, but you was just trying to sell me him a couple of minutes ago.
Just saying, like,
you was trying to sell me this joker a couple minutes ago.
No,
so
I'm saying, like,
either way, these playing teams, they got a short future. Okay, because 7 and 8 winner plays against Boston. Then the winner of the next series plays against Cleveland.
Well, you don't believe in Cleveland.
I don't, but against them, I think they should win that easy. Against them, either one of them, either one of the four. Like, the only team that stands a chance.
Orlando was
fully healthy. Orlando. Jalen Suggs, Wagner over there.
Do you think the Hawks would give the Cavs a headache?
No, because I think the Cavs is built to play just like them.
Okay.
Same thing with Boston. You want to run around? We got dudes do that too. Same thing with Boston, because Boston they gonna want to pay. They gonna want to play that fast paced game. Because that's how they spread out on teams now. They play that fast paced, shoot as many threes as possible.
No, I agree with you.
So I mean, Atlanta is getting cooked by either one. The only team that stands a chance to make one of them series interesting is Orlando, and that's because of the size.
Mm-hmm.
That's because of the size. That's because of Paolo. That's because of Franz. Both of them together, not Paolo by himself. Both of them together with the size, but then Jalen Suggs not being there. So we don't have that scrappy perimeter defender that can give any guard a little bit of a headache, a hard time.
Right.
But we got the trees tall enough to make anything past the 3-point line a little bit of a struggle. But we ourselves can't shoot the 3 ball at a high clip like neither one of them teams can. So any team out of these play-ins is short future, first round exit.
Let me ask you this. Who's going to be the 8th seed? In the East, who's going to be the 8th seed?
Who's going to be the 8th seed?
Yep.
That's who's going to be able to play in Cleveland. I think I actually think it's going to play out the way it's set right there. Orlando is going to be 7 and Atlanta is going to be 8.
Oh, okay. All right.
I think that's exactly how it's going to play out. That's what I would call.
I don't disagree with you because I just don't think. This playing stuff is, oh my god, stupid.
I can't stand this stuff. Like, this is the worst.
This,
dumbest idea ever. Dumbest idea. How is 82 games not enough?
Because if this was reality, you know what I'm saying? Magic, Hawks, boom, we good. You know what I'm saying? Why is the Bulls and the Heat even in this conversation?
Exactly.
They shouldn't be. You know what I'm saying?
No, not at all.
They shouldn't be. So, I mean, I don't think.
So, I mean.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
I mean, yeah. So, I mean.
It
but
shouldn't be that case. But Josh Giddey might have something to say about this.
He might. But, you know, Trae Young got some young cats that's running around. Trae Young got some young cats that's just running around, and I forget what they first round pick player name was, but he's been apparently playing well this season. But, you know, so it's like, you know, Atlanta is going to be a team to kind of like pay attention to next year.
How long Trae Young want to deal with this?
I don't know. That's a good question. That's a real good question. Because we was hearing his name floating in Lakers trades,
for years.
2 years ago?
He's been in trade rumors for years, man.
Right.
So, like, literally. So what you want to hit the Western Conference playing tournament, or you want to hit the
you want to stay on the East and do like talk about that, or do you want to do full play-in?
We can do full play-in real quick.
Okay, full play-in. All right. So in the West, the 7 and the 8th seed matchup for the play-in, Golden State Warriors versus the Memphis Grizzlies. This is Golden State.
Yeah.
This is Golden State. I mean, Memphis could make this interesting just because they still got the players, but no coaching.
I would have said Memphis would have won if they would have had the coach.
I would have said Memphis wouldn't have been a play-in team if they would have never fired the coach. I would have said Memphis would have been in Minnesota's slot because Minnesota ain't been playing so hot.
Then they're way up there.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you see what I'm saying? So I mean, look, without Taylor Jenkins, they can just make the game interesting. They can make they could make Steph have to play the whole game.
Man, Warriors, I think they should kind of, I ain't gonna say route them, but they should be able to cook Memphis because you got too many. First of all, you got too much experience over there. You know what I'm saying? You got 2 champions and somebody who's been to the championship over there. There's too much experience over there. You know what I'm saying? They know how to play. So, you know, and then with the lack of coaching, honestly, I feel like it should be an easy win for Golden State, honestly. I mean, Ja might pop off, but Bane might hit a few threes, you know what I'm saying, about outside of that.
Well, all them folks that feel like Jaren Jackson been the best player on the team.
What?
Everybody that said, remember I told you that.
No, who told you that?
Remember I told you that.
I know you said it. Well, who told you that?
It was I ain't gonna say their names because I ain't trying to be disrespectful, but it was some other podcast that I heard where they was talking basketball and they was like, yeah, Jaren Jackson has been the best player on Memphis this season.
Nah, fam.
I could care less about what you think about this season. We all know Ja takes Memphis as far as they go. So if you really feel like this about Jaren Jackson Jr., this would be the time that he gonna either put up or shut up. And I don't have no faith in him to put up.
Jaren Jackson is not even
he ain't even cold like that.
He's not even a starter to me, fam. Like, this dude is not.
He ain't even cold like that. He ain't even cold like that.
Man, he not getting off. He not with Draymond Green and them on him. He not getting off.
Well, see, I think. Well, see, here's why I said they could make it interesting, because I don't know who the coach is, but I'm just saying this is what I would do if I was Memphis. All right, if I'm Memphis, I'm starting Edey, and Jaren Jackson is playing the 4. If I do that,
that's not too slow that's not too slow.
It could be too slow, but how they gonna guard that? How they gonna guard that? I can't play just their game. They got to play my game too. Yeah. So if they can't guard that, think about it. Because if I'm dumping it down to Edie, Draymond Green's getting in foul trouble. Jaren Jackson, like, think about it. Draymond Green is going to be the only big that they're going to want to play down there. They're going to eventually have to put what's my man name? They're going to eventually have to put the rebounder in. Golden State, the one that was getting the rebounds against the Boston series when they won the finals. What is his name?
His name, man.
You know who I'm talking about, though, right?
Yeah. No, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, you good.
They're gonna have to put him in. They're gonna have to put him in. So that's
what he's gonna do.
Be a big man matchup. That's gonna be the look, because we already know that we can't shoot with them. We already know that. So our only chance of winning this game, we got to slow them down. We got to slow them down and wear them out.
Does the coach have the IQ to do that?
I don't know. That's why I'm saying that's what I would do. That's what I would do. That's what I would do. Edie is starting and he playing 30 minutes. And we dumping it down. We letting him have all you can eat buffet down there, because Draymond Green, he gonna get frustrated. He gonna get frustrated. He gonna foul out probably. He gonna probably catch a tech, maybe get tossed. Who knows?
So what happens if Steph get hot?
If Steph get hot, nothing is going to work, no matter what you do. If Steph get hot, nothing is going to work, because who else is going to parallel that atomic bomb? You know, who else is going to parallel that? As cool as Ja is when it comes to finishing in traffic and whatnot, he has to get and ones.
Right.
He got to get 3 the hard way.
Mm-hmm.
So that's your game plan for Memphis, is get Golden State in foul trouble. We already know Steph don't really play defense like that. So we attacking him on the perimeter.
Well, they shouldn't have Steph guard him anyway. That's a bad idea.
Yeah, but you know how you can make people guard you. You can bring that pick man over. Whoever Steph is guarding, come over here and set the screen, because I want that matchup right there.
Yeah.
And then if I'm the coach, I'm gonna tell him, every single time that you have to call the pick man over so Steph can guard you, I want you talking cash. I want you talking mad cash. I want you to call him out. I want you to be like, don't be running from this matchup, man. Stop. I want you to be all up on that.
I mean, I agree. Listen, your plan does not sound like a bad idea. Okay, it don't. You know what I'm saying? It does not sound like a bad idea. But with the coach, who I don't even think he has playoff experience, you know what I'm saying?
Right. I don't even know his name. I don't know who the dude is. You know who the dude is?
No, I think it's the assistant coach they got. You know what I mean? So the thing is, I just think they cooked off that stamp of Jimmy Butler and them.
Yeah.
You know, it's too much. It's too high an IQ for this for them. You know what I'm saying? The coach is too high IQ. Golden State should win this easily, honestly.
They got, I mean, you know, the one thing that Memphis could have going for him is if Buddy Hield keep doing what he been doing.
What makes you think he gonna stop? I mean,
Buddy gonna be like, y'all, don't worry about it. I got this.
What makes you think he gonna stop? This dude been playing crazy all season. I'm like, what is this dude doing? I didn't know Buddy Hield was like, I thought he was smarter than this, to be honest with you. I really did. I didn't know he was like this.
Hey, man.
I didn't know. So, Buddy Hield,
but anyway,
you know, but I don't think they're going to allow him to hit Steve Kerr, sit him down.
Yeah, he'll sit him down.
You know what I'm saying?
Not only that, like, because Steph, I seen he went up to him and he said, "You got to pay." That's the first time I ever seen Steph had to talk to somebody on the court. To be honest with you, that's the first time I ever seen. Normally it's Draymond talking. You know, normally it's Draymond, and then with this team, I can see it being Draymond, Jimmy Butler talking.
When you get older with age, folks, listen. When you get older with age, you
can tolerate the foolishness
like,
a little bit less.
Steph is like, what, 36? He don't got time for these. Like, hey, man, my days is numbered. My years is numbered. I don't have time for this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel him.
You gotta play right or sit down.
For real. So Warriors, I think Warriors winning that. Yeah,
I got the Warriors winning it, but I see Memphis. If If they come out with that game plan that I said, they can make it interesting.
Okay.
But
King,
so
Mavs.
the Kings and the Mavs, Kings. I got the Kings, man. Kings.
Even though you don't believe in DeMar DeRozan or Zach LaVine.
I don't, but I believe in the Sabonis over beating whoever's down there. I believe
Sabonis
in that.
Be getting in the playoffs.
Sabonis has played well in the playoffs. It's just that the other guys didn't do, because remember the last time he played in the playoffs with the Kings was when Draymond Green stepped on him.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, not that Draymond Green should have did that, but Sabonis was having his little antics too. Sabonis was having his antics too. He just looked innocent. He just looked innocent in the process. But the Sabonis matchup with whoever, he's winning that. It could be Anthony Davis. It could be Derek Lively. It could be Daniel Gafford. It could be PJ Washington. Pick one. Doesn't matter.
So what happens if 40 and 15 AD show up?
If 40 and 15 AD show up, I mean, who else is going to be there to help him? I mean, do you think that Klay Thompson is going to have pop off like that?
I would like to think with all Klay Thompson's experience with them titles, playing winning basketball, knowing what it looked like, I would like to think he'd be able to show up.
Because you got to remember the Kings, they got a little deep roster when it comes to quality depth players.
No, the Kings is
you got Malik Monk over there. You got Keegan Murray, who is another version of Klay Thompson, by the way. He's another version of Klay Thompson playing the 4 over there. So, I mean, and it's not like DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine ain't going to have nothing to say about the situation. Will they dominate the game? Probably not. But will they have something to say about it? I would think so. You might get high teens out of them. But if they come out, if they come out in this game and they playing well, this is an easy win for the Kings.
Yeah, the Kings is a complete team. It's just they don't have no. Well, Sabonis should be that star guy, but I don't view Sabonis like that.
I don't view him like that neither. But with this matchup, I can see him having a very Sabonis-like game.
So the Kings should win this. They should win.
The Kings should win this.
By default,
right. By default, they should win this. And Dallas shouldn't. First of all, the Dallas fans is tired of this roller coaster, with the team. I mean, they already hurt from Luka Doncic not being there. They already hurt. And then on top of that, Kyrie's not playing. So what you gonna get from the guards? What you gonna get from the guards?
What if AD, hypothetically speaking, what if AD, like, you know what, got them to what seed would they be? They have to be like the 8th seed. What if AD got them to the 8th? If they made it to the 8th seed, right? Won 2 playoff games against the Thunder.
You mean against
the Thunder? Because I think if Dallas do get in there, they'd be the 8th seed.
I don't think Dallas finishes better than Golden State after that Jimmy Butler trade. So yeah, eight would be their ceiling. And against the Thunder, I don't think he pulls out 2 wins.
What if he did though?
If he did, then does Kyrie mean that they win the series?
I'm saying if you pull out,
does Kyrie mean that they win? Like, I mean, Kyrie being there just means that they be a higher seed, so they don't have to deal with that right
away. Right. I'm just saying if AD did this, got them to came back from injury, went into the 8th, won 2 games, and made them fight for each win. Do you think that somewhat he somehow redeems himself a little bit?
Let me ask you this question first. What have you seen from AD in the past couple of seasons that makes you believe that that's even possible?
I'm saying if it happens, dude. I didn't say,
you yourself said this dude is hot and cold. Hot and cold. He better be hot. Like, he better be flamethrower hot. If he ain't flamethrower hot, there's no chance. Look, man. Look, either way, like, I mean, they're 1 versus 8 and 2 versus 7 seed matchups is going to be more interesting than the East. Because the East, we know that those are assured first round bounce outs.
Yeah.
But Oklahoma City, they most likely will win. They match up against whoever it is. But the Rockets, well, I'm just saying, because we was just talking about experience and stuff like that, right? Say Draymond, Jimmy Butler, and Steph Curry face off against the Rockets. You don't think that there's a possibility that they could shoot them out the gym?
The Rockets number 2 for a reason. They're number 2 for a reason.
We've seen 1 beat 8 before.
How often does that happen? That's very seldom.
But you got to have the right players to do it. And you mean tell me that you don't give Steph and Draymond and Jimmy Butler a chance?
We just talked about these young dudes like that. Can they run with these young dudes for 7 games? No.
What you mean? Like, Golden State, outside of them 3 players, they fairly young themselves.
Houston is nice.
I know Houston is nice.
They just don't got Houston the sexy is nice. Name. Houston, dog.
I know Houston is nice.
I say the Warriors win about 2 games. I'll give them 2. I'll give them 2 out of respect. They're not beating the Rockets, man.
Let me ask you this: who on the Rockets do you believe is going to be the one that's going to show up?
It's a team effort. I'm not looking at one dude. They whole system. That's a team effort there. I'm not thinking of Jalen Green gonna do what he do. You know what I'm saying, and handle his business. But I'm thinking the whole team effort, the way that whole situation is structured. Ime Udoka coaching. I do not think that because Steve Kerr, do you think he a better coach than Ime Udoka?
I don't think so.
No, he's not.
He just got better players than Ime Udoka. Or he's had better players than Ime Udoka.
Ime Udoka got his system is official. He knows what to do against the Warriors. Okay? So
right. But he
not
don't
gonna be some easy situation. You know what I mean?
No, it's not by any means. But I felt like he had a better roster when he had the Boston Celtics team, and they still lost to under talented Golden State.
Yeah, but this the thing, right? This the problem. You know, this is a Mark Jackson type stuff with Boston. So we're not going to, because I think he eventually would have won that. You know what I mean? They were still, this is second year. They actually is better than it was last year. So, I mean, this isn't some situation where, you know, this is not no fluke, Houston. They nice for real.
Right.
Golden State is there. I give them 2 games.
Who on Houston is proven though? To be ready for the playoffs. Though. Yeah, but like even in a team aspect, the team has to be ready for the brighter lights. Like this isn't a game that you can just take a loss.
They gotta show. I feel like throughout the season they showed and proved they ready to go at this point. You know what I'm saying?
Well, look, I mean,
it's not like they dropped throughout the season.
I know the seeds say that. I know the seeds say that. But let them mess around and lose game 1.
At one point throughout the season, did you think Houston wasn't ready to go? They didn't drop. They've been consistent the whole season.
Right, yeah, but you know that is because you don't have a steady diet of a great team that you got to play against. You play against. We all know how the regular season schedule goes. All right, you play against a good team tonight, then you can play against some table scraps the next 2 nights. Then you can play against a solid team. Then you play against another good team. Then you play against some table scraps. It's a so now.
What you were saying, all that inconsistent schedule, they took everybody serious. They wasn't playing with it.
Right. So let me do this. I'm gonna pull this up. Let me see if I can see this here, because this is a better telltale sign, even though it's not the complete telltale sign. Mm-hmm. But let's see here. I'm just trying to look at what Houston's record is against good teams. Mm-hmm. Against good teams. Mm-hmm. Let's see here. Let me see here. Okay, so in April, I'm not sure if we can count some of this stuff, because this is where some teams that's finalized they sitting players and whatnot. Mm-hmm. So they beat the Thunder, but that was just a couple of nights ago. And I feel like that came when Thunder had already solidified the number one spot, and they were like, okay, we're going to start giving some other guys playing time. Okay. So I'm not really counting that too much. They beat the Warriors by 10 points. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to count that one, because this is when the Warriors is fighting for their spot. They lost to the Clippers. Mm-hmm. They lost to the Lakers. Mm-hmm. They lost to the Nuggets. Let's go to March. Mm-hmm. Let's see what happens here. They lost to the Kings. They lost to the Thunder. They lost to the Pacers. They lost to the so they beat the Pelicans twice. Mm-hmm. Then they beat the Magic. They beat the Suns. They beat the Mavericks. Mm-hmm. Beat them pretty bad, by the way. They won a close game. They won by 3 points against the Bulls. Mm-hmm. They lost to the Nets. They lost to the Knicks. They lost to the Nets again. They lost to the Timberwolves. They lost to the Mavericks this time. They beat the Rockets. They beat the Raptors in what seems to be a close game. They beat the Suns in what seems to be a close game. They lost to the Warriors. They beat the Timberwolves. They lost to the Jazz. Mm-hmm. They beat the Bucks in a close game. They lost to the they beat the Spurs. Go to January. Mm-hmm. They beat the Mavericks. Lost to the Celtics. They beat the Lakers in a close game. They beat the Wizards. Pounded them out, actually. They beat the Grizzlies in a close game. They beat them twice in 2 close games, actually. They beat the Nuggets. They beat them pretty convincingly that game. They lost to the Kings again. They beat the Trailblazers pretty convincingly. They lost to the Pistons. They got a 1-point win against the Cavs. In two close games against the Cavs, actually. Mm-hmm. They beat the Celtics, and they beat the Hawks. They lost to the Grizzlies. So pretty much my whole point is, as you can see there, they are not convincingly better than anybody here against the good teams. They have some ugly losses here.
You could pull that up pretty much for any team.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The regular season, just because you the number 2 seed, like, it doesn't mean anything when you're not consistently beating good teams. Mm-hmm. When you consistently losing more than you win against good teams, mm-hmm. I have no reason to believe that you're going to just beat somebody like that. Like, they could win, but it's going to be a dog fight. I can see it being a dog fight, depending on the matchup.
Dog fight against
depending on the matchup. You just said that shooters can get you into some situations.
They can't. I'm just saying, like, you.
If any shooter gives you a reason to feel that way, it should be Steph Curry, shouldn't it?
Are you saying Houston's success this season is not valid?
No, I'm not saying that it's not valid. What I'm saying is it's not enough.
It's a lot of not respecting here. You know, going on here. You know what I'm saying? With Houston.
When you lose to the Nets 2 times, they lost to the Nets twice. They lost to the Jazz. And I'm supposed to look at them like these is bottom feeding teams that they lost to. And I'm supposed to look at them like they established? No, they still figuring it out. And me and you both know, I mean, even though they got a good team, who's the guy that's going to be the one that's going to make the play when it's crunch time tight? Who is that guy?
That is true there. You're right there. But would you say Steph Curry's super clutch here? Would you say Draymond Green is clutch?
Well, we know after today, he definitely ain't clutch.
Right. So the only person that's clutch over there is Jimmy Butler. And the thing is, Udoka got the defensive scheme to deal with that.
He can have the scheme all he wants to. Is the players going to deliver it? Because he had the scheme against the Warriors the first time he played them in the finals, but the players didn't do
that. Warriors team looked different from this one.
Much different, but so was his roster. His roster was better than the one that he got. I mean, all I'm saying is that it's not a sure thing that they survived that matchup. Because even though Steph Curry is not the clutchest player, when that atomic bomb dropped and he start making them threes and players start trying to overcompensate for what he doing, then you got Podziemski over here shooting threes too. Then you got Moses Moody over here shooting threes too. Then you got Jimmy Butler doing what he does. You know, and then Draymond Green. Don't let the battery get activated in his back. Because Draymond, I mean, you think if Draymond Green start getting on his stuff, that Sengun gonna be ready for that in the playoffs?
That's your man's.
He is my man's. But he hasn't.
Sengun not better than Draymond?
No. It's not whether or not if he's better or not. Is he ready for the moment? Draymond Green.
The way you talk about Sengun, he not ready for the moment?
No. You misunderstanding what I'm saying here. You misunderstand. Sengun hasn't played here yet. He hasn't played here yet. He hasn't played in either one of these games.
Do you have faith in Sengun going off?
This is time to show. This is where players' names are made. Right here. This is right here.
Do you believe Sengun to make his name in the playoffs this year?
Depending if this is the matchup that he has right here, that's a favorable matchup because you can see over everybody on their team. Mm-hmm. Now, is Udoka gonna have the game plan where he gonna be dumping it down, or is he gonna be like, yo, Jalen Green been the one that's been like, you know, with the hot hand, so we gonna try to kind of try to ride him out.
Them two should be the ones getting busy.
Yes,
Jalen Green and Sengun.
Right.
Them two.
Now, can Jalen Green and Alfred Sengun say they do show up and they play well? Do they outdo Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler if they both show up and play well?
Due to the fact that I'm gonna say this, you said Jimmy Butler and Steph.
Yes. If the two best players to the two best players.
With the style of play, if they play like they supposed to,
Sengun should lock down the paint.
If they play like they supposed to, yes. I know Steph Curry and them is the sexy names. I get that. But Sengun down low and Jalen Green with this athleticism, they should be able to be more potent on the offensive end here without having to rely on threes.
They should. But
I don't think that's a hard answer.
But my thing is this. I feel like they got the talent to do it. They just haven't been in a position where they were required to do it yet in a 7-game series. So I just need them to show me that. Because I can have all the confidence in the world in them in the regular season. But we all know the playoffs is a different beast. Okay? Refs may not call everything that you used to call it, or refs may start calling more in favor of what you already know how this goes. Who makes more money for the NBA? Steph Curry or them?
I mean, we know Steph do.
Right. So you already know he gonna get calls.
It's about to change. It's changing the guard coming at some point. You know what I mean? So
yeah, but it's not this year.
And at the end of the day, Van Vliet is a champion.
He is a champion.
He do know how. Van Vliet knows how to play the point guard position. He knows Van Vliet just quiet with it. It's not like Van Vliet trashing nothing.
I understand.
So
I understand.
They don't got no bum at the one. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not saying that he's a bum. I'm not saying that he's a bum. But you know, Van Vliet, as much as you say the overrated talk, he might be overrated. Van Vliet, yeah, he might be overrated.
I think he rated properly. No one ever said Van Vliet was some star. He just know what to do at the one.
Right, but I'm just saying when you
ride know who you remind me of?
When you have to follow behind the likes of other superstars and then you chip in, it's a different kind of role when you don't got no established proven superstars that's in front of you. Because say Sengun and Jalen Green don't have a good game, what's he gonna do?
We're not looking for Van Vliet to do all that. He might get a couple open shots.
But if they have a bad game, who's gonna step up?
It should be Van Vliet.
That's the only thing I'm saying. I'm not hating on Van Vliet. I'm just trying to be as real as possible with this right here. Okay? All I said from the beginning, I'm not picking them to win or lose. All I'm saying is that it's not going to be as easy as anybody think it's going to be to put the Golden State Warriors out. Because when I look at the West, like I said before, ain't nobody got the clear head and shoulders above anybody, in my opinion.
No, I'm looking at these matchups. So before we get to the matchups, who is going to be the 7th to 8th seed? Like, who's your 7th to 8th seed?
So if things go the way we think they should go, it should be, Golden State should be 7.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get that out the way. And then I would say it's kind of a toss-up between 8, 9, 10, because Memphis, they coaches, that's going to be, that's a toss-up to me. But between those three teams,
you don't think the Kings should just be 8?
Look, you was just giving me this whole spiel about
if Anthony
Davis, if Anthony Davis this, if Anthony Davis that.
I was being hypothetical. I wasn't saying that was going to happen. I was just asking, would that make the trade worth it?
And then talking about the reputation of DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine in big playoffs. Like, it's like, you know.
Well, you said the Kings was going to win that easy.
They should. If they show up to play, they should. It's going to be about Sabonis. It's going to be about Sabonis. And who's their coach over there? Doug Christie. So Doug Christie, he hasn't coached in the playoffs yet. He's played in the playoffs. He hasn't coached in the playoffs. So this is his first taste of that. Jason Kidd's been coaching in the playoffs for a while now. I don't know who Memphis coach is.
Should Jason Kidd want to resign and go elsewhere?
Heck yeah, he should want to resign. You trade away my best player and you give me him, I'm out. You talking about making Dallas fans want to like riot. But let's just say, for all things to make sense here, the Kings should be 8. Let's just say the Kings make 8.
Okay,
so they first round bounce outs.
They'll get swept the first round.
Yeah, they probably get swept the first round.
That's a sweep.
I'll
say one game. I can see them winning one game.
How?
Under 5 points at home.
What is this, game 3? It has to be game 3. Because if it comes down to having to win game 4, they getting swept.
They have, look, just like you said, OKC gotta be or the Rockets. OKC they have to go to the finals.
But
they have to go to the finals.
But we can look at OKC and have a more logical reason to say that, because they've been in this position. They was just in this position last year.
Yeah, but
they
lost to Dallas.
Right. But
So
that was Dallas with Luka and Kyrie and them, and with them young cats.
Same
with them
deal
young
with Udoka. It's the same situation here. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, they have to go to OKC. There's no excuse. They have to go to the finals or a failed season, period. So, but I can see the Kings. I'm not saying because you can get a gentleman's sweep. I can see them winning the game under 5 points at home. You know what I'm saying?
Shea gonna have to do a whole
if DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine get it in, you know what I'm saying, with Sabonis, if they all lock in, they can get one. I'm not saying it'll be a blowout. It'll be tough. They can get one.
Well, honestly, if we being honest here, if they lock in and they all show up to play for the whole series, they can stretch this to six, maybe even 7. Because if you look at the talent balance across the roster, you wouldn't say that the Kings have a better team than the Thunder.
The Kings got a good. I like DeRozan. I like LaVine. It's just the fact that in big games,
right,
they don't show up. That's my only issue with them. They got the ability,
right?
They just in big games.
But that's what I'm saying. So okay? So the best player on the Kings is Sabonis. The best player on the Thunder is Shea.
Yes.
They can cancel each other out because Sabonis, with his triple-double stuff that he be doing, rebounding the ball, assisting the rock, for whatever reason, running the offense, and then he scores himself. He can cancel out Shea, because Shea, he's not a distributor.
Right.
He ain't no distributor. He's just a scorer. And he be acting his way to the free throw line, like with all them faces and stuff like that you. So I mean, you know, he could do that. So but then okay, so after you get past them two, who's the second best player on the Thunder?
Like you said, the Thunder, it ain't Dort.
No, it ain't Dort.
Chet, right? Off top.
It's between Chet or the other Williams cat. What's his name?
To be fair, they all like on the same level. Like,
right.
So I mean, it's hard to say. To be real with you, not trying to cop out on the answer, but the head and shoulders is Shea. I would think maybe on some, by default, it'll be Chet.
Okay, so Chet. Let's say Chet is the number 2 best player. Who's the second best player on the Kings? Is it DeRozan or is it LaVine?
Coin flip that.
All right, so that. Do you see a awkward, like, do you see a easy tilt to one direction between that so far? It seems pretty even to me. When you talk.
Listen, I know the Kings on paper.
Right.
Basketball wise, if you look at this on some basketball stuff, knowing what they can do,
right,
ability wise, they should be a challenge for anyone. Right. But the fact that they don't, for whatever reason, DeMar DeRozan, he just stays like this. He never raises. It just stays like even kill and never go up.
Right.
Like this. Same thing with Zach LaVine.
So I mean,
that being the case,
but like this is all going based off if they show up for work. I mean, based off of if they show up for work, because the Kings play a different style than what the rest of the league plays. They got 2 mid-range players and the big guy that controls the rock. They not the typical we running down shooting threes with y'all all day long kind of team.
Mm-hmm.
Now the thing that the Thunder got that can go in their favor is probably with Hartenstein and the other Williams cat that the Thunder got on their roster. I forget what his name is.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, because then you got Keegan Murray and Malik Monk on Sacramento that you can't sleep on. Them dudes can be just as explosive as anybody else in this league.
The Kings should be better than what they are.
Yes. They should be better than what they are.
They should be kind of cold, actually. But the fact is, the 2 guys that should, talent-wise, DeMar DeRozan's talented as any guard in the league. You know?
Right.
He just, for whatever reason, he just even kill with it. Zach LaVine, he improved, but once because he can shoot, he can go to the basket, all that. Big games come. Can you tell me when you've seen Zach LaVine like, I'm taking this over?
Never. He doesn't have that kind of personality.
Let's get it popping. You know what I'm saying?
You know who?
You know what I mean?
You know who Zach LaVine is to me?
Who?
Zach LaVine is Jason Tatum without a team.
I don't disagree with that. I listen, Jason Tatum to me is cool. He's masked by the team. He's masked by the team.
Right.
That's it. You know what I mean? So it is what it. I mean, hey, I don't see too much of a. People can say what they want. I don't see too much of a skill difference there. You know what I'm saying? Zach LaVine gets busy when he wants to. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But the thing is, he just, I don't know.
But that's that. We already talked about the Warriors and the Rockets. Let's go to the 4 and the 5, Denver and the Clippers. The Clippers should win this just because
Clippers probably gonna win this,
right? Because you fired the coach. Another team that fires their coach. The Clippers with Tyronn Lue, Kawhi Leonard is healthy.
My only question is: did a sweep or?
I don't think it's a sweep. I think Jokic can probably get 2 games out of this. Jokic should probably get 2 games out of this. Yeah, Clippers is 6. That's what I was saying.
First thing I'm thinking, Clippers is 6.
Yeah. Okay, and then you got the 3 and the 6, the Lakers and the Timberwolves.
That's not no easy win for the Lakers, man.
That's not no easy win either way.
Like that's not. But I mean, because people looking at the Lakers like they should. That's not easy, man.
No, I mean, well, they should win. They should win, but I don't think it's gonna be easy because Julius Randle is gonna mess up everything Ant got going on here. Julius Randle is gonna and then Rudy Gobert is over there. The last time Rudy Gobert had to deal with Luka, he was talking all kind of craziness to him. I mean, Luka already has his confidence against the Timberwolves because he showed it last season.
Who's the best player on the floor, Ant or Luka?
Technically, it should be Luka because Luka will distribute and pop off. But
does he distribute or is he a ball hog?
Well, like I said, Luka doesn't look to pass until he doesn't really have his shot that he wants, right?
Is it clear cut that Luka's better than Ant-Man?
No, it's not clear cut. It's not clear. I mean, I don't think Ant is far away from being the best player in the league. He's not far away from that.
Would you be surprised if Ant-Man terrorized the Lakers? Would you be surprised?
No, because the Lakers ain't got nobody that can defend him. Nobody can defend him.
So with that
the one player that that's on Minnesota that can wreck all of that is Julius Randle. Julius trying to put on the cape, trying to be somebody that he's not.
He can't try to put on the cape when Ant-Man.
What you mean? He been doing it all season. They the 6th seed. He been doing it all season. See, but the same thing that you said that I say about Ant, about the Lakers not having nobody that can guard him. Minnesota ain't got nobody that can guard Luka. Ant, if you put Ant on him, that's going to wear him out for offense. You put McDaniels on him, he already showed that he can beat him. And then you got to worry about guarding whatever you get out of Bron if he's healthy, because I seen that he supposedly had a little groin thing again that happened, and then they talking about he gonna be all right. So whatever the case with that. But and then I have to bring him up. Austin Reeves.
What is he gonna do?
Austin Reeves has been consistent the whole season.
Salute to that brother.
The whole season.
Salute to him.
So this is not a matchup that I think the Lakers should lose, but I think this is a matchup that they're going to have to fight for.
The referees is going to assist them in this situation.
take the referees out the conversation on just some basketball stuff. You think that Minnesota should beat the Lakers in this series? Just on some basketball stuff. And tell me why.
First of all, let me pull up these rosters. Because if we talking basketball here, with the youth that the Wolves had, and they actually, if Gobert could do anything, you know what I'm saying? Anything is guard the paint. Anything. If he can do anything is guard the paint, at least. You know what I mean?
They pulling him out the paint. They pulling him out the paint. At least
do that.
That's the look. You act like you haven't been seeing this dude for the past couple of seasons. The game plan for Gobert, if you ain't got no big to dump it down to, the game plan for Gobert is to pull him out the paint.
Jaden McDaniels I like Jaden McDaniels.
Yeah, but Luka dealt with him last year too.
Yeah. So all right. So let me see. Mike Conley, does he start still?
I don't know. He don't never be on the floor when I'm watching them.
Okay. Well, Mike Conley is solid. Devinchenko, he should listen. Their roster is not bad here. I think on some reels, the Conley at the 1. Who's the Lakers 1?
It's Bron or Luka or Austin. Those 3 guys are the ones that can bring the ball up and run the offense at any time.
Right, but they got a traditional point guard here. So Mike Conley, Devinchenko, he should be able to pop. He needs to pop off.
Devinchenko can be the parallel to Austin Reed. He should be better than
Austin Reed. He should be.
But he's not.
He should be better.
But he's not. But he's not.
Real stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand this. Whatever, man. But the thing is,
Devinchenko is coming off the bench. He's not even starting.
That's cool. Somebody need to come off the bench. Somebody got to come off the bench. It's no wrong being 6 man. You know what I mean?
The better white guy here is Austin Reeves.
That's cool, man. Bones Highland, he not who I thought he was. Nas Reed, he be getting it in down low.
If Nas Reed was as good as he's supposed to be, he would be starting at the 4. If he was as good as he was supposed to be.
I think on some pressure type stuff, they starting Julius Randle over him, to be honest. That's what I think. You know what I'm saying? I don't know any good reason why you would start Julius Randle over Nas Reed, but who am I? What do I know? You know what I mean? But Rob Dillingham's pretty good. He's straight. It's not world beaters, but they're a good basketball team. And played right, they should be able to beat LA. They all over the place with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they heavy in one area. You know what I'm saying? They're heavy in one. They top heavy.
Told Lakers?
Yes.
You might want to look at the Lakers roster again, because the Lakers got more depth than what people would like to say, because they got their players healthy now.
I mean, let me look at LA, man. I mean, they in the position they in. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not.
Yeah, really... all of that same talk. They was consistent throughout the year. They was a 2 seed. What was the Lakers?
So I'm looking at Luka Doncic, of course. Dorian Finney-Smith. Okay.
What you mean?
Well,
you say that like he ain't no good contributing role player. Oh well, I mean, that is kind of debatable.
That's the question here. You know what I'm saying?
That's very debatable. That's very debatable, because when you look at that matchup that they had last season playing against each other, who made more plays for their team, him or Nas Reed?
That's fine. I hear you.
Exactly.
Jordan Goodwin.
He's another role player. He's kind of like how Bones Highland is for Minnesota.
Rui
definitely is a better role player than some of those dudes that you name. He's just as good as those guys.
Is Rui better than my man's power forward? Just said him. Who said he gonna mess everything up?
Julius Randle?
Yep.
Is he better than him?
Yes.
He ain't gonna mess nothing up. So
is he better than Julius Randle or not?
He's just as talented as Julius Randle.
Is he better than him or not?
I mean, shoot. That's a toss-up. Coin flip that. Coin flip that. Coin
Jackson
flip
Hayes.
that. Jackson Hayes. That's the one spot. But then again, Rudy Gobert is there, so it's like, okay, you can coin flip that. You can coin flip that.
Bronny.
You know Bronny ain't getting no clock.
Who knows? JJ Redick might want to get cute.
If he up by 30, maybe. That's the only time Bronny comes into play.
We all know Bron, you know what I'm saying? Trey Jemison, the third.
He don't get no play.
Okay. Maxi Kleber.
He don't get no play neither.
All right. Dalton Connect.
When Dalton Connect comes in, it can be right now, Dalton Connect's impact on the game could be either the best version of J.R. Smith or it can be the run around the court version of Tony Snell.
Christian Coloco.
He don't get no play.
Okay. Alex Lynn.
He don't get no play.
Right. Markieff Morris.
He don't get no play.
And we know Austin Reeves.
Yep.
Jared Vanderbilt.
Oh, that's the hustle guy.
And
that's
Gabe
the hustle
Vincent.
guy. Gabe Vincent, that's a shooter.
I didn't hear anybody on here that's like, ooh, they better than the Wolves.
No, they all in the same. They all in the same. But when you look at they top, they top is better than their top.
I'm gonna say this. I feel like, and I'm thinking Ant is gonna be more consistent than Luka.
Why? What makes you feel that way? Because I mean, I'm gonna just keep on using last year as a reference point here.
Like last year, we in the new year.
Yeah, but Luka owned them last year. He got all his confidence.
We in the new year.
Like I don't know what would make anybody think that Luka is going to come into this series and not have all the confidence in the world.
And I don't know why anyone think Ant went neither.
No, Ant gonna come in and Ant gonna ball. I expect Ant to make this interesting.
The X factor is Julius Randle. If Julius Randle,
lost.
No,
you lost.
No,
I'm
gonna say this.
You lost. You lost. You lost.
If Julius Randle,
you lost.
Nah,
you lost.
I already feel like. Listen, I'm not.
If you coming into a fight expecting,
I have this suspicious feeling that Luka gonna get hurt or something, dog.
Okay, well then, I mean, if you want to throw injuries into the possibilities of any matchup, then that changes anything.
I just have this feeling that, and he's
no. Make your prediction based off of fully healthy.
I'm going
nothing
for the Wolves,
freaky.
dog.
I know you going for the Wolves, but fully healthy versus fully healthy. Nobody
I
gets
just don't
hurt.
think the Lakers team is better than the Wolves.
And what confidence do you have in that? Because the Lakers is 3 and Minnesota is 6. So
yeah,
what sense does this make?
Just like the sense you made of the Warriors versus the Rockets, the same exact sense you made.
A team that's been there, done that, versus the new guys on the block.
Don't matter.
It do matter.
I seen that boxing, been there, done that, and dude got put down. You know what I'm saying? With that team.
How many times has that happened?
It's happened often.
With the best boxers,
with older fighters getting in the ring. I've been there and done that, young man.
I ain't talking about Mike Tyson and Jake Paul.
I'm talking about older veteran boxers getting in the ring with the young talent.
Now tell me the last time you seen that in basketball.
What do you mean?
Exactly. The last time you seen that in basketball, where the older talent, the guys that's been there, done that, and the new kids on the block. When is the last time that the young new kids on the block put out old and the older guys that still got it, by the way, still got it. They don't look like they really falled off a lot here.
Mm-hmm.
They still got it. Draymond Green still the same Draymond Green he always been. Steph still the same Steph he's always been. Jimmy Butler still the same Jimmy Butler he's always been.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you compare that to this matchup that we talking about here, LeBron, he ain't the same LeBron that he's always been, but he's still right now in this league is still one of the top 10 players in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Luka Doncic, fully healthy, top 5. Me and you said on the podcast that he's the number 2, only player after Jokic.
He is, but this is the problem with Luka, man. The dude, he does things that throws the game away. Seriously. You know what I'm saying? He does that.
Or he does things that just kills the other two. Like it's
bad on both sides. It's sharp on both ends, man. Sharp on both ends. The candle is burning on both sides with him, and you know that.
Luka got a deeper graveyard than what Ant got.
He's been in the league longer, of course. He does.
It ain't that. It ain't like
Luka
that.
been in the league for a while, man.
And Ant hasn't.
And he been getting busy the whole time. You know what I'm saying?
Ant hasn't.
And Luka's been a pro since he was 14. So what are you saying here? You know
so you charging him for that? So you charging him for that? You charging? I'm trying to figure out. Look, just say you hate the Lakers and you don't want to see them. That's what this sounds like. Just say it. Just say it. You hate the Lakers.
When have I told you I hate the Lakers?
You don't need to say it. Anybody that listens to this podcast can hear it coming out your tone of voice, the words you say, everything. Everything that you said just says that, look, you can't stand the Lakers. I'm tired of looking at the Lakers. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of that. I'm tired of that. Everything that you say just says that.
I never said that, sir.
It's like you can't be straight up right now. like you really on some stuff, man. When it comes to them in particular, you have nothing good to say. Nothing good to say. When it comes to them in particular,
they got the coach of the year,
and they give you reason to change it. Like, it's not like they are proven to be what you say they are. They are proven to be the opposite of what you say they are.
Okay, let me say this to listeners to debunk this rumor that Josh is saying here. The Lakers are a great team. They're excellent.
They ain't great team.
No, hold on. Let me finish this. They're excellent. They got the coach of the year, best player of the league.
He ain't win no coach of the year.
Players. No, he about to get it. Watch. Best role players of the league. They're gonna be hoisting up the trophy at the end of the year. Lakers, they're gonna do what they gotta do. They're the best team, and no one stands a chance against them.
Who said that?
No one stands a chance.
Who said that?
I'm just saying, I don't hate the Lakers. Nobody stands a chance against them.
What you mean that nobody stands a chance against them? I already said how I felt about the West. I felt like any one of these top teams could take it because I don't see no clear advantage here.
Listen, LA.
I don't see no clear advantage here.
LA. I, for life, don't understand how they got to where they are, but they're there. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand it, but it's not for me to understand. It's not for me to understand. I can't. It's not for me to understand. It's not meant for me to understand. I don't understand how they're 3 seed.
Look,
I'm not getting this. You know what I'm saying? But salute though to them. I'm not. When I look on the sheet, I don't see it. I don't understand it, but they're there. So it's not for me to understand. What's done is done. They're great. You know what I mean? They're a great team.
Me and you both know.
Does it make sense to me? No, it don't.
Me and you both know that basketball is the one sport where one player can dominate a game. The team needs to contribute, but one player can dominate the game and cause things to go left or right. The Lakers got 2 of those guys on that team. Minnesota has 1. Minnesota has another guy on their team that's a liability. Actually, 2 when you think about it. Because Rudy Gobert don't give you nothing offensively. And he really can't guard nobody. And the Lakers don't have nobody on their team that would cater to his style of defense. He gonna have to come out and defend the perimeter.
Is Luke? Because listen, I'm gonna ask this because we know Bron. He plays no defense. He don't play that. So we not.
You mean Bron? Bron don't play defense?
No, he don't play defense.
Look, he may not play on ball defense, but them chase down behind the back blocks still exists.
How often is that gonna happen?
How often are you gonna give him an opportunity to do it? I mean, that's all depending on that.
Now listen. We know Luka's great, but his issue is he throws hissy fits, he gets technicals, and he stops playing winning basketball sometimes, and that can hurt you. He does it more often than not, actually. So it's debated if he actually wouldn't have been doing that in the finals if he wasn't throwing them hissy fits and all of that and pouting and all that. They would have did better in the finals. You know what I'm saying? So we're not going to act like that don't exist with Luka Doncic.
No, it does exist with Luka Doncic. But even if he was to be the not hissy fit thrower in them finals last year, he still would have lost because his running mate didn't show up for work.
You don't think Luka could have got busy on them Celtics?
No. It's not Luka. I said his running mate didn't show up
Kyrie?
for work. Yeah, Kyrie had one of the worst finals of a superstar.
You are right. But this the thing. Now, with Bron, this the thing.
You ain't got to question if Bron gonna show up. Bron gonna make a mark some way, somehow.
Yeah, but this the thing. All he gonna do is make a mark. It's not gonna change the factor of winning and losing at this point with him. He's gonna get his numbers, and it's gonna be what it's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? It's on Luka's shoulders if they win. It's not on Bron's shoulders. It's all on Luka's shoulders.
Right.
And if Luka get to doing all that stuff he be doing where he don't want to pass, he don't want to play defense and get frustrated and get texts and all this, that's a problem.
Yes, you're right. I'm not saying that you're wrong here. That's why I said it's gonna be a dogfight right here. It's an opening round dogfight right here. This is this one is a dogfight, but all things considered, if you get the best version of both teams, the Lakers win this series. Now, it's not going to be an easy series. This is one of those series. This could be a 6-7 game series right off the bat. And if it goes 7, then that's a coin flip. But if it goes 6, the best version of Luka, the same Luka that put out Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, James Harden, Devin Booker, Chris Paul, and them. That's that same team that went to put them out.
Mm-hmm.
He took care of them. He took care of this team last year. Took care of them. I had the best version of Luka in a 7-game series versus the best version of Ant in a 7-game series. And then you got to consider the best version of all the other players that's on the table here. So that means the best version of LeBron, the best version of Austin Reeves versus the best version of Julius Randle and the best version of whoever the third guy is over there. The Lakers should win this. Should.
It's not easy on either side, is all I'm saying.
I said that from the beginning.
But you think I hate LA. I don't hate LA.
No, you sound cool, calm, and collected now, but any other time, you coming up with a list of reasons why you don't like LA.
I don't understand the position they're in, and I never will. So it is what it is. I'm never going to understand how they number 3, looking at that roster. I don't understand it. So
let's move to the East. Let's move to the East because I know you can't wait to talk about this one. All right. So we already understand 1 and 2 seeds. This is pretty much a bye week. Like they get an easy matchup to start off. They gonna win it. Possibly could be sweeps on both ends of the floor.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go to let's 4 to 5. The Pacers versus the Bucks.
Technically, I don't know, man, because I would say the Bucks should win because they got the best player on the floor, which is Giannis. They should win.
Is he really the best player on the floor? He's the most consistent.
Yeah, I mean,
if Tyrese Halliburton shows up, he's the best player on the floor. But he's so roller coaster. He gonna show up.
I'm gonna say the most dominant player on the floor is Giannis.
Yes, dominant. Yeah, there you go. That's a better floor. That's a better word.
If Giannis do what Giannis does and they can't stop him, it's a wrap.
Who else is gonna help him? Because Dame ain't there. Who else is gonna help him?
Oh, Dame is gone, ain't he?
Dame is gone.
He out for the season too.
Yeah, he gone.
Oh, it's a wrap. Yeah, Pacers got that. They should win.
You thinking Dame is there?
They should win. I give the Bucks one game, Giannis.
All right.
I'll give them one.
All right.
I think Giannis should be able to get one.
And the Pacers got home court.
Giannis should be able to get one game at home.
Okay.
You give him one?
I'm struggling. I mean, I would say Giannis can because of the way. Let me see here. Because the Pacers over there, like, it's really all about Tyrese, whether or not he gonna be any kind of consistent. But Milwaukee,
they don't got nothing except Giannis.
Is Giannis. I think they still got Bobby Portis over there, which ain't saying nothing. I know they traded to get Kyle Kuzma, and he's over there. I don't know what Kyle Kuzma.
I mean, he been all right. He haven't been a problem.
I'm gonna say that Giannis can sneak two.
You think, man, that's a lot.
I mean, because it's not like the Pacers roster is so good. Like, outside of Tyrese Halliburton, Pascal Siakam,
7.
Huh?
Would you be surprised if it went 7?
I would. I would be surprised.
Should be. First of all, Pascal's the champion. Well, Pascal's the champion. Giannis the champion. Okay. Mm-hmm. Pascal can ball. So technically,
and then it's coming down to like when you think about the coaching factor, Rick Carlisle, Doc Rivers.
Rick Carlisle, dog. I mean, Doc Rivers nice though.
Right.
They're both nice. I mean, but I like Rick Carlisle.
And then they got your man Darvin Ham over there too.
I don't have a problem with Darvin Ham. He cool. He just, I feel like, he's better as an assistant. Pascal and Tyrese Halliburton, they should be able to handle the situation. Pascal,
and then Benedict Mathurin is healthy.
Yeah.
They got Miles Turner over there, who I don't know if he's going to be the same or better than Brook Lopez, because Brook Lopez, the best version of Brook Lopez that I've seen, defends the paint, rebounds the ball, and can shoot an outside jump.
Brook Lopez
I'm not sure if he's. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Brook Lopez, I mean, at this point, he's just a big body out there.
But Giannis play style and how strong he is versus how weak they are down low.
That's why I can see that causing problem.
I can see that causing 2 games because it's like you gonna be looking at. I mean, I don't know, because like I'm looking at this from the perspective like, okay, Giannis gonna be getting folks in foul trouble. He gonna be
definitely. That's what he do.
Right
now, if the referees call charges and stuff, then
Giannis is gonna be in foul trouble.
If because this could go either way. If the referees feel like calling stuff, then Giannis not gonna be able to do what Giannis does, because that's Giannis bread and butter. Shoulder in the chest stuff, elbows flying. So if referees want to be a-holes and be like, or if they want to call the game the right way, they be like, hey man, that's a charge, dog. That's a travel. You know what I'm saying? Because he travels a lot too. You know what I'm saying? He do all that. So you know what I mean? Like, and he be fouling. So it's like Giannis low key a little dirty as a player. He got some dirty tendencies. You know what I mean? So if the referees want to really play that game, he won't be able to do what he do.
Right.
But they're not going to be able to resort him to a jump shot. Unless the referees is calling stuff, they're not going to be able to turn Giannis to a jump shot shooter. The way to deal with Giannis is turn him into a jump shooter.
Mm-hmm. Which is...
If you don't turn him into that, you're going to have a problem. Because no one stops him going to the hole.
No, I mean, nobody's going to stop him.
You know what I'm saying?
No, nobody's going to stop him. It's just going to be the matter of, can your offensive quality shots, high percentage shooting that you hope, is that going to be enough to where Giannis doing all of that ain't going to matter? between Tyrese, Benedict Mathurin, name I just said, Pascal Siakam, and then you got the backup point guard. What's his name? O'Connell.
Mm-hmm.
Him, and then you got the other shooter over there. What's his name? He's the other shooter. I got his face, but I can't think his name. He's the other light-skinned shooter that they got over there to guard.
I know you're talking about. I forgot his name.
Right, him.
The Pacers should get this in 5, though. I mean, I'm thinking they should not have that much of a problem with them.
Because they haven't been consistent all year. That's the reason why I'm saying Milwaukee can get 2.
No, I feel you. I'm not disagreeing at all. I'm just saying, like, they should not have a problem. But due to inconsistencies, yes.
Yes.
Giannis gonna get off. You're not gonna stop this dude. Like Giannis gonna be getting busy. Like
unless he has, like, I mean, the only thing that'll stop Giannis from being what he is if he hurts himself.
Giannis averaging 30 a series. Believe that.
Yeah, easy.
He's gonna average 30.
He should easy with ease.
But the other cats got to do something. And Giannis don't got enough offense in his bag. He don't got enough. Now, if he was a dude that shot threes, mid range, post moves, all that, then I would say, hey, man, I don't know. Giannis might be able to win this series. You know what I'm saying? But he only know one thing. You know what I'm saying? That's it. So he don't got enough in his bag.
Right. So, I mean, the best, like I said, I got the Pacers in 6. You got Pacers in 5.
Yep.
All right. So now the series to talk about. The New York Knicks.
They was talking about this
versus Detroit Pistons. I got the Pistons winning this joint. I think the Pistons could win this.
Should win, but
because with all factors considered, right? Tom Thibodeau running players into the ground, right? Jalen Brunson just came back off of injury.
Yeah, but Jalen Brunson, his matchup is Cade.
I mean, he'll be able to duel with him, but like Cade is going to have an easier time eating.
That's a bad matchup for Brunson in a whole because everything Brunson can do, Cade can do.
Right, but I don't.
6'8".
But I don't think that they're going to try to have Brunson guard Cade. I think they're going to try to have OG Anunoby or Mikal Bridges guard Cade.
That would be the wise thing to do because I mean, dog, like nah.
But then you got like, I think that Beef Stew got what it takes to get the cat.
That's easy.
Yeah, because Cat's soft. Cat's soft, easy, and he be yelling like a girl.
Duran can get to Cat.
But Duran ain't that type of guy.
Like, you sure?
Like,
well, he been acting this season.
I see that more so from Beef Stew than anything else. Like Beef Stew be like fingers in folks' faces and stuff like that, and all this. I'm like, man, look.
I think the physical play, what I personally feel like with the physical play, we should be able to overwhelm them on some physical stuff. I think that.
Right. Now this is a series where the referee's whistle can get wild.
In New York, absolutely.
Because in Madison Square Garden, we already know the building's going to be jumping.
The building's going to be jumping. Detroit is going to be crazy in New York. Man, I wish I could have got some, man.
Well, we already look. Me and Andre, we was looking at tickets today. Nosebleeds, $150.
I already know them. Man, listen, it's gonna be popping in there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised they not sold out.
Maybe because folks is like, look, dog, I ain't paying $150 for nosebleeds.
But in Little Caesars, like the nosebleeds, not too bad in there though.
No, it's not.
It's not like going.
Are you willing to pay for $150 nosebleeds?
I don't know, man. To be in the building, dog, in the playoffs. Nah, I'm serious. To be in the playoffs, in the building, in the playoffs. I mean, that might be something I'm
willing to entertain.
Consider it. Yeah, I mean, it's the playoffs. That's going to be a whole different atmosphere.
Yeah, it should be a whole different atmosphere. I mean, it's been a minute since the Pistons been in the playoffs, so you kind of got a younger crowd that's integrated up in there now.
Well, this is the thing.
Has these young cats been raised right by the OGs locally?
You already know that. You already know that answer. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I say this. I think we can get it for 2.
6 games.
Because I'm looking at the Knicks, and I think the Knicks, I'm surprised they as high as they are, honestly.
And then Jaden Ivey gonna be back. Now I know he ain't.
I don't want this to be a Jameer Nelson, Rafer Austin situation. If
No. I would say, because I mean, I would think that they ain't gonna have him come back if he ain't ready. But the fact that he's ready and he's back, I would think that this means that he comes off the bench and you see what he can do with 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Give him 5 minutes. Give him 5 minutes. See if he can be effective. Because right now, what you got going, Ron Hollins, Asur Thompson, those guys are OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges to a degree.
I like Ron Hollins and Asur.
Right. And then you got Malik Beasley over here popping off from the perimeter.
Even Tobias Harris doing a little something.
Well, Tobias Harris is the one that I don't trust.
No, I don't trust him in the playoffs. But I mean, he's been consistent this year. I mean, but Tobias Harris always kind of just been he in that DeMar DeRozan lane, just straight across. He don't do nothing up or down. Seriously,
I ain't giving him that much credit. To me, Tobias Harris is like, if I had to compare him to a player, because Tobias Harris not showing up is not the same as DeMar DeRozan not showing up.
Are you sure about that? Because
when I talk about caliber of players here, Tobias not showing up is not the same to me as DeRozan not showing up. Because when DeRozan doesn't show up, you looking at him and like, yo, we know you got. we know you played them in the regular. We know what you can do here.
Right.
Tobias Harris is like being mad that a role player didn't show up.
You need your role players.
You do, but a role player versus the lead dog, you more disappointed when the lead dog don't show up than when the role player don't show up.
I agree. No, I'm just saying as far as the lane of he's just a steady, it's never no up and down with him. It's just straight across what it is. He is not improved or declined. He's been the same dude his whole career, Tobias Harris.
Right. Exactly.
The same exact dude. Like him. It's
exactly.
Kind of like Al Horford been consistent. I feel like Al Horford been the same dude his whole career. But Al Horford been good though. He's good, you know what I'm saying? But he's been the same his whole career.
Yeah, I don't know. Like the player comp for Tobias Harris is, I don't know. I don't know, man. He's not. He's really not worth talking about. But
I'm not no big Tobias Harris guy anyway. But I think that we get this for 2. I feel like we can. That's not no homer stuff. I think that we can actually beat them.
I think they can. The only thing that would hurt them is if Cade gets wore out defensively by OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges. And when I say wore out, I mean like absolutely nothing comes easy. Like he doesn't look like a superstar.
Cade, I'm looking at Cade. This is Cade's time. When they said Cade was giving the USA team the business, he should be able to give OG Anunoby the business. Okay?
I'm sure.
That should not be an issue. Listen, Cade Cunningham, this is time to show, hey, we here in the building. So Cade, I'm looking at Cade to low-key dominate here. That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at Cade to let everybody know he arrived. That's what I'm looking at.
And Ron Holland, he can
listen, I think
he can be the Josh Hart matchup.
I almost feel like I under-scouted Ron Holland.
I don't feel like we under-scouted him because we was looking at him from the eyes of, is he a cornerstone foundation build around kind of guy.
Would you say he's better than what we thought?
I ain't gonna say he's better than what I mean. Well, look, I ain't gonna say that he's better than what we thought because I don't think we said anything crazy about it. I just think we said that he don't look like the first overall pick in the draft.
No, I don't think that, but I just think that he's better than. I think he's more solid than I thought. I just say that.
Well, see, look, we said this before, right? This was the role player draft.
Yeah.
The role player draft.
Yeah.
And I don't know, would you take him over Kenneth still, knowing what you know now? Would you take him over Kenneth?
In this system with Detroit?
If you had the choice, knowing what you know now, in this system with Detroit, would you still take him over Kenneth?
If Kenneth got that dog like I think he do, yes, because he can shoot. My Holland don't shoot.
So you would take Kenneth over Holland?
If he got the dog in him to fit in this system, because we got a good system. I don't want to screw up my system. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is, Kenneth is the better offensive player than Ron Holland. That's obvious. I think everybody with eyes can see that. But
Ron Holland, he's the defensive hustle guy.
This system though, because if I take away Ron Holland and insert Kenneth, will I be losing some vital stuff here? You know what I'm saying? And
you definitely gonna lose some defense because that's the reason why he ain't getting a lot of clock right now.
All right then. So with Detroit, we don't have no crazy offensive threats like that except Cade. You know what I'm saying?
And he's
not even really
great at one specific thing. He's good at a number of things.
What's that word they say? He's not great at. He's the jack of all trades. Yeah, jack of all trades. Yeah, so he could give you a little everything, but he's not exactly like dominant. Now, if I was able to just get Kenneth and not have to give up Ron Hollins, run that. We'll throw Kenneth in. You know what I'm saying? Let him get some threes and all that because he a big dude. Now, if he had that defensive grit, run that.
Well, I feel like when it comes to certain players like that in particular, it's like you surround him with players that's going to force him to be that, then he'll eventually grow to have some of that.
Because if Kenneth grow into that, he'd be a big problem. Right. That's a big dude, man. If he get that Detroit grit and be playing defense, right, and shoot the way he shoot, that's gonna be that's not gonna be an easy dude to deal with.
And look, I'm not saying that Kenneth would be some lockdown defender or anything, but the effort would be there.
No, just to be that big and physical, you wear somebody down like that.
Right, but we already know Kenneth. He wants to he gonna have his offensive impact.
No, that's not gonna take away from it. But just if you, for instance, you don't have to be a lockdown defender to bother somebody. Right. You know what I'm saying, if you a big physical force and just a big presence, and if you always got to keep bumping into somebody the whole time, that'll wear you down. That's gonna mess your shot up, all kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Right. So if you could just be that and have that nastiness to you and have that effort, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, hey, I'll do it, because because Cade can kick it to him and it's not like Kenneth can't take you off the dribble or nothing like that. You know
so who's the X factor for Detroit?
Man, it would have to be
Beasley has to shoot the ball well.
Malik Beasley got to shoot, but I would say Asur. We need Asur to, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Be playing like Amen. I'm in. You know what I'm saying? We need you to be acting like a man out here in these streets. Is that his name? Right. Amen or Amen? How you pronounce that? You know what I mean? But
you right both ways.
We need you to act like your brother. We need you to be looking like that. You know what I'm saying? Seriously. Right.
So
because he's cold. He just,
And this is one of them games where I wish they would have still had Marvin Bagley.
Yeah.
Because Bagley would be the player that can give you something down low.
Yeah.
Because right now they don't have nothing down low offensively that they can just dump it down. Now, Duran could clean up. Duran could clean up. You could probably throw him some lobs. Because Cat ain't defending nothing like that. And he the only big that they got, right? Did Mitchell Robinson come back?
Let me change that X factor. The pick and roll. If they can pick and roll in the depth, that'd be good. Because if they could pick and roll and throw to Duren, that's going to get the team juiced up. You know what I'm saying? So if they work that pick and roll, you know what I mean? Because you get him involved like that, then that means he going to be even more involved on the defense. You know what I'm saying?
You already got the better coach.
Yeah, you pick and roll him to death, boom, throw him a few lives. That's going to get the whole team, in, you know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah,
and
I think that'll work.
The other thing, too, is that Mikal Bridges, he already, like, complained about not getting the break.
Yeah, that's like a bad thing to do publicly, you know? Like,
right.
That's not good. You know what I mean?
So knowing that, like, is there a chance that New York is coming in here tired?
With a Tom Thibodeau team, that's always a chance. Once you get in the playoffs, they got the Gatorade bottle already up under them, dog, in the playoffs. You know this already.
So
the Gatorade bottle flashing in the playoffs. Once the playoffs hit.
I don't see, look, honestly, it'll take superheroic efforts from Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah, Cat, he ain't got it in his chest for all that.
Yeah, he ain't got it. He got the skills to a degree.
He could if he showed up on some domination nasty stuff, he'd give Duren and Stu work.
Yeah,
easy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, easy. It'll be easy for him.
You know what I mean?
But the fact that we haven't seen it from this guy. Once again, we going back to a reputation here. He has a reputation of not doing these things when it matters the most.
Yeah.
So, and he's the main one. Like, losing Hartenstein was a bigger blow to them than what they thought.
Well, we said that early. Like, that's a
we said that early.
Bad loss.
That's a bad loss.
Don't want to lose him. You know what I'm saying?
And now
guess who he with? The number one team of the West.
Right. So it's like there's outside of that, there's no other world that I can see here, even if it goes 7 games. I don't see a world where Detroit loses this series.
They better not lose it. But we should, first of all, if we win this series, wait, when do they give Coach of the Year? Is it before?
I don't know.
We should get that.
They should have already given it out because it's pretty obvious who it should go to. When you compare what happened last year to this year, it's pretty obvious who's the most impactful good coach here.
100%. 100%.
With the giving hands and stuff like that, like it's pretty obvious. It's pretty obvious. I don't see how it would go to anybody else.
I agree with you, but so I mean,
but yeah, that's the
playoffs right there.
That's the playoffs right there. That's first round least play-in. Play-ins is going to start Tuesday and Wednesday.
Okay, I'll make sure I tune into that. Do you want to recap those?
We can after those happen, because then that'll completely finalize the matchup. See if we was right about anything or something like that. So
what you want to do, Wednesday night or Thursday?
Let me see. I think Thursday is going to be the first round games. We want to have this done. Let me check. I'm checking it right now. Let me see here. Yeah, let me see. Hold up. No, hold up. No, we can do. Let me see. Tuesday, the Hawks versus the Magic and the Grizzlies versus Warriors. Wednesday, Heat versus Bulls and the Mavericks versus the Kings. And then Friday is the play-in 8th seed games. Friday is the play-in 8th seed game. So we probably going to have to wait till the end of the week.
Wait till we do all that. Yeah.
Wait till the end of the week.
Yeah.
But I do got something that I'm going to do this week if you want to be a part of it.
What?
I'm going to do a mock draft for the NFL. Because the NFL draft comes up. It's going to be on I think it's on I think it's NFL draft is I thought it was like in less than 2 weeks.
What so you can do? That could be a Jay sideline. And I could just be a guest on it or be in on it. You know what I'm saying?
That's fine. I mean, but if you wanted to, but what I was going to do,
I was about to say, send me the draft list so I can look up footage so I at least know what I'm talking about.
Okay, I mean, well, I'll send you the prospect list so you can look up players because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do it if I was the one that was making the decision here.
Okay.
And based on what teams lost and what they got in the offseason so far, like I'm gonna break all of that and I'm gonna do every team.
That's cool. Just let me know when you want to do it. That way I can,
Well, Thursday would be like obviously the easiest one to do.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be the easiest one to do because it's gonna be the one where like it's like how you were saying it seemed like Thursday is the day.
Yeah.
She gonna be gone, not back till a certain time. And then like at that point, like it's gonna be all
Yeah, just let me know. If I'm able to, that's what's up. If I'm not, then just do it and I'll just put it up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Oh.
But yeah, so that's what I would do.
Okay. I mean, so be looking for that then. You know what I'm saying? So be looking for that. I mean, so be looking for that. We're gonna have that up. You know what I mean? So this gonna be up in the morning. So I'm gonna get this processing immediately tonight because it's gonna take a few hours, but I'm gonna have it up before I go to work. So I'm gonna go ahead. So I guess we can end it here.
Yeah, let's do that.
I mean, and then I had this up, and then let me know, so I can move some things around to see what's up. I gotta make sure.
All right, I'm about to send you the prospect list. Don't go by their order.
Mm-hmm.
But what you can do is you can filter it by position.
Okay.
And then you can look at a few dudes in certain positions because you really only need to look at like maybe 5 players per position to kind of have an educated guess on the top ones.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna look up. Yeah, I do that and then download and listen to it and all that and watch what I watch and then I know some sort of what I'm talking about. I know the game. I just gotta know the certain players. You know what I'm saying? And what they good at and what they can do.
Gotcha.
All right, that'll be it.
All right, then.
All right, for sure.